There, now everything looks good.
All
There we
right.
are.
All right. Looks like we're live. Looks like we're live.
Yes, it
Cool,
looks like we
cool.
are live and on camera.
All right, excellent. Well, all right, fantastic. Looks like we're live and ready to go. Thank you all for joining us. Welcome to Fringeworthy, our episode 1. My name is Mike Leader, and I am the GM for this game. So, um, before I get an explanation of what the game is about and its setting and the rules we're using, let's introduce our players, one of which you know is a channel regular, and 3 brand new folks to Stolen Fires. So let's start with Chloe first, since she's the expert.
Excellent. Well, I am Chloe. You may know me from running my She is the Ancient game at this time slot as of last week. However, I have returned as a player. And should I get into talking about my character or just who I am?
You can tell us who you are. We'll introduce characters in a little bit.
Yep, I'm Chloe. Yeah, like I've been playing RPGs for like 6 years now. But I'm excited to see this game from that is, I don't know, 40 years old or something like that.
Yeah, fantastic. Bob, why don't you tell us a bit about yourself?
Yeah, I'm Bob. I'm a gamer for 40 some odd years since this game was new, although I've never actually played it. And I'm looking forward to it.
Brennan?
Hi, I'm Brandon. I also have been playing RPGs for decades. I actually played Fringeworthy in the 80s. And so I'm very excited to be able to play this old school game again that I never thought I'd see anybody play.
And last but definitely not least, Leslie.
Hi, I'm Leslie. I am predominantly a D&D 5e player. But I have played a number of things and I'm excited to try something new.
Oh, excellent. I'm excited to have you guys here because this is fun for me. Just to explain a bit about Fringeworthy and my history with it. Like Brennan, I've been playing. Brennan and Bob, I've been playing for. This is my 41st year of gaming. I know that's kind of a scary thought, but I've been playing for a very long time. But I played Fringeworthy in the early '90s when its second edition came out. But like so, the original game in the setting was created by TriTac Games in 1983, and it was the first RPG to use the concept of a multiverse and alternate Earths for its setting. Now, you've seen this appear in other games since then, but they technically were the first to do it. The idea of humans discovering a gateway that gave them access to pathways and other worlds was so amazing that even Hollywood supposedly copied the idea. The game would spawn a second edition, like I mentioned, in the early 90s, and that's when I first got to play it with some friends who were brand new to me at the time, too. And we played in a campaign that went on for the better part of 2 years. And it was an amazing experience, and it's always sat fondly in my heart. And realizing that this year was the 40th anniversary of this game, I thought, well, what better time to try and actually, talk about it again to see if we can actually get a feel for it. And I'm glad these players have signed up for it. I'm glad Bob introduced me to Brandon, who's played the game before. Now, speaking of the game, we are not using the system that came with the game, the original game as well as the second edition, because by modern standards, it's a bit clunky. I mean, it was 92, and you had THACO and you had percentage rolls. It makes me twitch thinking about it. So what we've done is we've sat down and we worked out utilizing Chaosium's a basic role-playing system, which if you play Call of Cthulhu, you know how that works. But it's a generic system designed to work with pretty much anything. And I picked that because it has a huge skill setup for players, and so you really kind of get the feel for what's going on in this setting. Now, I'll explain the setting. In this setting, in our version of Earth in 2007, a Japanese climate research team working in Antarctica discovered an alien base that had been there for at least 5,000 years. One of their own, Sayumi, walked up a ramp and just disappeared before their very eyes. They didn't disappear when they walked through it. No one knows what happened. They continued working there, hoping that whatever happened would she return. And days later, she came back to the same spot with an amazing story of pathways to worlds and a starry void. And so, after all this and what she had told them, they raced back to the United Nations. and the nations quickly took oversight as Antarctica is a neutral territory. She explained to them that a tiny percentage of humans could walk these special pathways, and that she had been given the task to find them by an alien creature that she had met, had given her these special crystal keys that shaped like little pyramids. It looked like D4s. But this creature has saved her life while out on these fringe pathways, and so it encouraged her to go back to her world and find more to come explore, as if they were made to do. So began the race to find the 5 millionth percent of our population who can actually possibly explore and find a way to help humanity save itself from a climate disaster. Yeah, that's 0.00005% of the human population. So not many folks. And so this leads to some very interesting folks being brought into the program, as you'll find out tonight. The special crystals that Simon brought back, they tend to glow in the, well, actually don't tend to, they glow in the presence of folks who are now dubbed Fringeworthy. And they're being shown around the world at special exhibitions to try and find anyone who fits this bill. And when you meet our PCs tonight, you'll see exactly what we kind of got. So 3 teams have gone out now, but the media hasn't been able to understand much as the UN's kind of kept tight wraps on the situation. But now with this special 4th team, which is made up of our PCs, the media has been given some access to talk to them, to find out what's going on, and to at least give the public who's hungry for information about this crazy idea of going to different worlds without rockets some information. So, if we're all ready, the first scene of this game begins in what looks to be a modified boardroom. There's a table with 5 seats on one, or 4 seats on one side, and 1 seat on another side. There are cameras set up in that room, and there's a BBC logo that's been put up on the wall behind one of the chairs. Sitting in the one primary chair is a woman in her mid-30s. She's actually well known on the BBC network. Her name is Nagam Chetty. And across from her sits 4 individuals. 2 women, 2 men. I'm sorry, 3 women, 1 man, right? Yeah. All looking very different in their own regards. We'll get to them in a minute. So, Naga reaches up and she says, "Hello and welcome everyone to the BBC Live here at Hatsumi Base in Antarctica. The BBC has been granted special access here to help the public understand the fringe pathways and the concept of Fringeworthy. These terms came to the public eye in mid-2007 with the discovery of the 10,000-year-old building locked into the ice here in Antarctica, built by some alien race. The location contained a scientific wonder that is only visible to 1/1,000,000th of a percentage of humans, a portal that leads to pathways to other worlds. That means that these quote-unquote Fringeworthy could be just anybody from any walk of life. So the UN has sent out 3 teams so far, and several of you are familiar with the first explorer, Sayuitana, and South London's own Colonel Gordon Conrad, who claimed to find pathways that led to other worlds and other portals. They brought back samples of technology beyond or even parallel to how things operate here. But now we've been granted access to the special 14 that's about to leave soon and venture out into what Colonel Conrad called fringe space. So let's let each of them introduce themselves, their name, what they do, and where they're from. So she motions to Chloe and says, well, let's just go ahead and start with you. Who are you and where are you from, and what excites you about this special trip?
All right. So I am playing Lola, although she'll be introducing herself as Lady Platinum. She is wearing this fancy ball gown. She is going for a red carpet look. I imagine that that's some of the fellow some of the fellow team might be rolling their eyes at this display of ostentatiousness, because this is not how she dresses on a day-to-day basis. But she goes ahead and like winks at the camera and says, well, you can call me Lady Platinum. I'm from New York. I had a brilliant art career going on before this. In fact, you can find those on my Yahoo group. But, you know, that really, I have to say that art is about trying to capture the world as it is and leave your mark on the world. And that task becomes far more interesting when you have multiple worlds to do that with.
That's a great way to put that. Thank you, Lady Platinum. She motions to the young man, played by Bob. Tell us about yourself.
Oh, is this on TV?
Yeah, yes, you're on
Hey,
TV.
hey, what's up? Mesa represent. I'm Chewy. You can call me you can call me Chewy. And yeah, I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be here. Hey, my mom's watching this. Hey, mom. What do you
Tell
what
us a bit about yourself, what you've done.
Oh, I'm Chewy, and I'm from Mesa, Arizona, and they told me that if I came to work for them, they'd take me out of. So you see, I got arrested, and it wasn't my fault, but they wanted to put me in prison because there were some stolen cars in my uncle's possession. I didn't know they were stolen, but apparently they were, allegedly. My lawyer said just use the term allegedly. And the cars were stolen, and they put me in jail. And then they said you're not documented, and we're gonna send you back to Bolivia. And I was like, but I've never been to Bolivia. I don't know anybody there. I would much rather stay here, but I'd much rather not be in prison. And then this guy came to me and said, hey, you made these rocks grow. We're gonna take you someplace else. We're gonna pay you a whole bunch of money and take care of this whole situation, and you just gotta work for us. And I was like, all right, that sounds great. I'll go where you go. Give me some money. I'll hire a lawyer for my mom, and that's why I'm here.
So that's why you're wearing the orange jumpsuit. That's not your orange jumpsuit.
This is the orange jumpsuit they gave me when they put me on the plane.
Ah, I see. I see. Okay. Well, good to know. Good to know. Um, you points to Brandon's character. So tell us a bit about who you are and what you do, and that way we know, going into this, what to expect.
So I'll be playing Sadie. Sadie is a 28-year-old American Hispanic woman. She is really, really physically fit to the sense of clearly being just a gym rat, fitness nut. And she will say, "Well, I'm Sadie, Sadie Miller. My I'm here because I went to the exhibition at the Louvre and they had the crystal on display there, and they tell me that that's why they decided to talk to me about this. Um, I am a professional athlete by trade. Before doing this, I have been a professional fighter for years. Before that, I played pro basketball for the Sparks in LA. I grew up in Los Angeles. Uh, my father was in the Air Force and was a pararescue operator for years and years, and then joined the fire department there. And so I was raised in Los Angeles. I've always really enjoyed physical sports and surfing and rock climbing and all that kind of thing before I got into basketball and martial arts and made those things my career. I am here because this seems like the most challenging thing that I've ever heard of, and I'm really excited to have a go at it and see how we can do.
Okay. And fantastic. Thank you very much. And she'll motion Leslie's character. So I see you're a captain in the U.S. Air Force. Could you kind of elaborate on who you are and tell us a bit about yourself?
Um, I am Captain Cassidy Wagner. I actually have about a year ago have moved on from the Air Force and was recruited by NASA to be an astronaut, and have been training for about a year, but apparently um, they would like people from NASA to go on these kind of missions. So they came around with the little space rocks, and what do you know?
That makes sense to me. So just a couple questions for the audience for each of you. I just want to make certain that they get to know, what this is like, how this makes you feel, I'm sure. So, Lady Platinum, uh, how do you think your special set of skills can help you on your mission to gather data for the people of for the people of Earth?
I think she leans forward and says, like, I know that you go to school, you hear all about joining STEM programs, study biology or chemistry, become a doctor or a lawyer. But listen, we are going to places that no one else has ever seen, and you know what? You can't bring video cameras, recorders. Yeah, I'm sure you've heard the stories, but you know, part of my big role will be to help document everything that we find. After all, yeah, if we kind of the way that I am able to portray what we see will be how all of you at home are going to be able to experience just what lies beyond. Yeah. On top of that, I would say I'm a pretty good talker. I'm pretty good at getting to know people. And, some of these worlds have other people living their own different lives.
Oh, you make a good point. Two good points actually. I'm really curious. I've just only heard this a couple times, and you mentioned it now that you can't take video or that kind of data through the portals. So that's definitely going to make bringing back information kind of tough. So I guess having an artist along makes a lot of sense. That's very good, and we're lucky to have that. Your other point about meeting other societies made me think about a question I have. Let's just go with you, Chewy. One of our other sources told us that there was a previous contact with another society in a different world. How do you think you'll handle meeting a whole new kind of people for the first time? I mean, they could be completely different from us here on Earth. How do you think that would? Does that make you feel? What do you think? How do you think you'll handle that?
Yeah. So I hadn't thought that far ahead, but I'm sure they're cool, right? I'll just be, hey guys, what's up? And maybe break some bread, give them some tortillas or some tacos, and yeah, yeah, everybody's cool.
I mean, that makes sense. Everyone likes tacos, so
Who doesn't?
so Sadie, what strengths and weaknesses do you think you bring to this team as you face the unknown?
Well, I feel like one of my strengths is that I don't give up. And this seems like a challenging thing to do that will require us to perhaps face difficulties in what we're going to do. Uh, but I think most of all, that we're going to have to stick together as a team and support each other. One of the things that I've always been taught, the way that I was raised, was that you take care of each other. When people need help, you help them, that you look out for everyone. And when you have to extend yourself to take care of other people, you do that because you hope that they'll do it for you someday too. And so, although I fight for a living, but I never fight to hurt people. I fight because it's a challenge, because it's competition, because we all need to find something that's difficult for us to make ourselves better. And I hope that that's how this will all go.
Great, that's good to hear. So, Captain, um, with this great chance to help humanity, there has to come some great danger. Um, what concerns do you have about this mission, and what hopes do you have to find out there in the fringe?
I, well, I mean, finding uh another group of life forms, I think, is kind of the thing we've all been looking for, whether it be uh going to space to find them or going through these cool little portals. Um, as far as dangers, who's to say? We know that um once we go through the portals, anything electronic will no longer work. Um, so not having things that we may rely on is going to be a challenge. Um, going back to manual tech is going to be a whole lot of fun. It's like camping.
That's a good way to put it. I like that. Well, I appreciate the time that we've been given today to talk, and I know when I speak for my home and for everyone else around the world who's watching, that we wish the four of you all the best, and we hope to hear back from you soon and get updates on what's going on, and maybe we'll have some good success out of this that can help us survive longer. And because some of the biggest concerns we've had lately, and I'm sure you've been talked about it before, the UN's looking for better food for people, solving world hunger, climate issues. Maybe there's something out there that can help us that we can have or find. So our hopes and dreams go with you, our prayers as well. We thank you tonight. Thank you for joining us. Good night. And of course, cameras go dark, red lights go off, and she gets up, she shakes hands with all of you, offers her hand to shake hands. I do really wish you a lot of luck on this. I mean, I don't think I could ever do this. So what you're doing is pretty brave. So good luck.
Of course,
And
we'll
she
be, hmm?
go ahead.
Of course, we'll be excited to come back with updates.
So you guys get escorted from the room, and one of the assistants says that Colonel Zabregnev wants to meet with you. You haven't met with him yet. You've heard he's the big to-do shot around here, who apparently is in charge currently. He worked for the unit for a peacekeeper unit for many years in the UK as well as in Europe. So he's got a lot of experience with them, and they put him in charge of this thing recently. So they escort you to his office, including Chewie in his jumpsuit. Are you still wearing the handcuffs?
No,
Okay, but you have the handcuffs.
I have the handcuffs. They
Okay.
just gave them to me after they took them out. They took them off of me and they just handed them to me because they didn't know what else to do with them.
So they walk you into his makeshift office, and it's funny to think. We'll describe the base. The base is massive. Most of it is our alien walls, the metal you quite understand. It's not cold to the touch, but the room doesn't feel as cold as it should be for being Antarctica. The room feels warm, or just warm enough, like close to about 70 to 73 degrees. It's a nice, comfortable day at the beach, right? Or summer in Alaska, but nice for you to walk around in, no problem. But this office has been dug out of the ice and built for him, and it is rather cold in there. So in the office sits a man who is probably in his mid 50s. Um, he's got some scars on his face. He looks tired and definitely exhausted from a lot of things. But he stands up when you come in and says, "Good, good, come in, come in. I'm glad I got a chance to speak to you. We're gonna try and get this group off the ground as fast as possible. Again, my name is Colonel Zabregnev. It's a pleasure to meet all of you. I've read your files. Uh, I'm going to just kind of give you the things you need to know going out onto the paths, what we want from you and what we want to give, what your orders will be from us. Do you understand it? Well, this is not a military operation. The military is kind of overseeing things, and so we, as in the United Nations, want to give you some directions while you're out there. Make sense? Make sense? All right, good, good, good. So here, just go down the list. Let's see. Pulls out a piece of paper. So I want you to explore to find resources that can be shared with Earth. So things like food, water, things that can help the problems we're having here. Hopefully some science that can help with climate issues we're having, food issues, trash issues, things like that. Yes, yes. Number two actually was added because of what happened with the second team. Please do not interfere with local cultures as much as you can. They almost started a war with a different planet, and that's never a good idea. I'm sure you understand. So we ask you to use discretion.
I think I think Lola whispers under her breath in Spanish, and sure wish the peacekeepers used more discretion.
Thankfully, he doesn't speak Spanish. That works out okay.
Oh, that's convenient.
That's okay. We all do.
I know.
Yes. So
I just
it's
go,
It's relatively simple. You know, we trust your judgment. We just don't want you getting involved. It can be pretty dramatic. So also do not let any hostile forces reach out and attack Earth. I don't know how that's going to work, but I'm sure you'll know them when you find them, if you find them. Let's hope it's just an if. But you know how we think. And one of my higher ups mentioned that what if it's a bridge for other races to invade our planet? And it's a valid point. So just keep that in mind. Last but not least, we did not make it known to the public, but I'm telling you now. The third team has not gotten back to us. We have not heard anything from them. They're not reported back in. And that is a great concern. So hopefully you can find out where they went or what happened. There were 4 of them, just like you. Colonel Polina Volkov from the Russian Army. Eloise Legrand, she's a biologist. And Oteshi Ai, the Japanese Olympic acrobat. Very nice gentleman too. I liked him a lot. And Peyton Maxwell, he's from America. He's I don't know what he did. I think he was a bum, but you know. Anyway, if you can find them, there's some descriptions. I think I think Lieutenant Yates will send that out with you. So anyway, I'm gonna have to give you over to Lieutenant Yates, and she will take care of everything to get you set up. But you should be able to leave sometime tomorrow. Yes? Any questions for me?
Are we gonna meet aliens?
Well, I haven't been out there myself because I'm not Fringeworthy, but Sayumi said she met one, and so we know they exist. So, like I said, be on
Tom
your
was
best
right.
behavior. I'm
Uh,
sorry.
Are they gonna probe
Tom
us?
was right.
Well, maybe just don't argue with
not-
them. Maybe they won't probe you.
I'm not into that. I just want that on the record. Not into that. You know, probing thing.
I'm sure if you tell them you're not into it, they'll be fine with that.
All right. As long as it's on the record.
Of course, of course. Any other questions for me? All right then. Presses a button. Captain, Lieutenant Yates, come in, please. So a woman comes in. She takes you out, and is walking over to the main portal area just so you can see what it's like. We got all of the equipment that you requested. We gave that list to you, and I think everything you wanted should be on it. We've packed up the main truck as well as the Humvee that you have. And if you have any questions about it, you can let me know. Small thing is I can probably make changes right now for what we have in base, but you should be good to go for tomorrow morning. We'll all be present, and we're gonna make a big deal about it. You know, the media will be here, yada yada yada. You know how that goes, right? But shoot,
Yep, I'm well aware.
Yep.
Mike, this is after we've had, like our couple of months of
oh yeah,
training and
you've
getting
gone through
in.
months of training, yes. She'll reference that too. After your months of training, this should be really easy for you to understand. You know, the way Sayumi and Conrad made it sound that this should be a walk in the park for you. And since again you're more physically active than the 2 of them were, so between all of you, I think you should do fine. But she walks you into the main room, and the room opens up. This massive room, and across the room, is equipment everywhere, video cameras, blah blah blah. Not a lot of machinery, but stuff and crates are placed in here. You can see the massive Russian truck that you've been given, as well as the Humvee, which look really weird because they have the mechanical start crank on the front of both of them, which you've never seen in a vehicle in your lives. But they're loaded to the brim with all the stuff you guys have requested and was going to be given to you. But more importantly, across the room, up against the ice wall, you can see it. It's 50 feet tall. This giant black ring. And it's not just black, it's nothing. Black so deep that it's beyond that color. And you can see it slowly turning in a clockwise manner, very slowly. but you
Why
can
does it
feel it.
turn around?
You asked that question out loud?
Yeah.
What do you mean? She says, what do you mean?
Why does it need to do that? I mean, shouldn't it just stay still so you can go through it?
I don't know what you mean. I can't see it.
Oh, uh, never mind.
Yeah, I don't know if I don't know if you were explaining in briefings. Only Fringeworthy can see the portal. Otherwise, it looks just like a ramp to me.
Oh, out of character, I thought there was like a ring and then the blackness was within it, but it's just the black disc. That's it, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, yeah, it's interesting.
The platform itself is rather large. The ramp up to it, it's a platform, and so it's made of metal that the same kind of metal that the building is made out of. It's a little bit corrugated. So when you put your foot on, you can feel it's got traction. It's not
Mhm.
slippery, but it's rather big. And this thing is 50 feet across. It's not like it's a tiny platform. It's a 50-foot across platform. It makes the Stargate and the Stargate TV show look small.
Is the ramp up to it part of the construction of this that was here with it, or is it something that was installed to let people walk up to it by us?
No, it's part of the building. It's the same metal made of the building is made out of.
Huh.
If you look, it's actually part of the floor.
Oh,
I
this
think
is
Lola is busy sketching out, like like first encounter or something like that. She's workshopping titles. If you look over, like all of us look very slightly taller and more muscular than we actually are.
Nice. But the interesting thing about the chamber too, the disc feels almost like it's calling to you. This is the first time you've seen it, and you can feel it in your chest, like you want to go touch it.
hmm.
So we're just gonna walk through there. We're gonna get in the truck. Well, we're gonna get in the truck and we're gonna drive through there.
And she
That's
says that's the plan. And this is most of what we've ever sent out with anybody. So even Team 3 didn't take that much. They took horses and a pickup truck. Hope that worked out well for them. I
Chewie
like
is
those
far
horses.
more interested in the truck and the Humvee than anything else.
You would never Chewie probably has never seen a Russian built military truck before, but just poking it from the outside, he's amazed how solid. He should be amazed how solid it is. Like this thing could run through houses.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big truck. Can anybody drive one of those?
it,
Oh
it
well,
It's got
can't be
wheels. I
much
can drive
different
it.
than driving a tractor, right?
It's got wheels. I can drive it. Trust me. All about the cars.
yeah, it's just like any truck. It's a manual transmission, which cuts down a lot of problems with taking its place like that. You're about to use the manual start to start the truck, as well as the Humvee. Um, once the battery drains, so there's at least that you can at least get the vehicle going on the platforms.
I mean, I'm assuming we've been briefed on the operation of these things and how to do the push start.
Right, you know how that and Humvee work. You've read all the specs on it. I'm just kind of going over for the audience. So, I just wanted to show you this before you went off tomorrow, so you can feel comfortable before in front of the media. Yada yada yada. You know how it goes. It's real simple. Any questions for me or anything else I can get for you guys before we get this thing started tomorrow?
Mm. I mean, I assume you'll have some kind of special astronaut breakfast for Cassie. Is that the thing, right?
I mean, eggs and toast are fine.
You should have enough food. You should have enough MREs for 90 days, so that should be plenty. Please make sure to try and eat well. Hopefully, you can find foods you can eat out there. I mean, the way that Salem made it sound is that there are world food on them that she could eat just fine. She talked about these. They're like oranges, only they were green, but they smelled like strawberries. So
That's
I
too
get.
many things.
Yeah, well, you know, I don't know. I'm just taking your word for it.
Huh. And
Look,
we talked before about uh, going after Team Three, and we have some idea where they went. So that could be where we want to go first.
that's a good plan. Want to know that the plan was to have them go right at the alternate platform, the second platform, the one out you go out on the platform, you go out to the next platform, make it right. I can give you directions to the Pizza Hut. Jeez. Um, yeah, it's what they designated as -1. So you go out and you go to the right.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but I think it's probably our top priority to go find lost people. I mean, if it was us, I would hope that the next team would come after us and try to find us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Seems as good a place to start as any,
Yeah.
especially if they found things, then we can at least bring back their work.
And their horses.
I'm not optimistic for the horses, to be quite honest.
Horses survive because they're scared of everything. They just run the other direction. They might be okay.
Lieutenant Yates also adds, I know the colonel wasn't very clear about this, but like I said, you only got food for 90 days. So we hope to hear back from you within that period of time. Between you four and me, I'm concerned. I know that sounds a little silly coming from me, but if you have to understand that we sent out professional soldier, Corporal Volkov, and they didn't make it back last time, and so it makes me very concerned for your safety. So please, try not to get into gunfights. Try not to do anything stupid. We want you to come back alive. We're going to try and find more Fringeworthy in the meantime, but it's kind of up to the four of you to make a difference here. Not to put any pressure, but yeah, I'm putting pressure on you.
The other teams came back, right? It's just the third team we're still looking for.
Yes, the first two teams came back, but they didn't explore as far out as you're going. I mean, at best, you're gonna be what, 300 miles from home
Or
in the middle of some,
infinitely far, however you
or
see it.
who knows? I mean, it's all different out there. And I wish Colonel Kramer was here to talk to you. That would have made a better difference if you ask me, because I haven't been on the pathways. But everything he told me, he said just you're going to be surprised. So who's up for dinner?
Dinner sounds good.
Yeah.
Oh! I am famished.
And we got to get you a change of clothes,
famished.
because that jumpsuit is not. We need to put you in the right clothing. In fact, I think I got uniforms for all four of you, so let's get you into those too. Don't worry, it's nothing fancy.
Wait, we didn't wear uniforms for the interview? I
I think
feel I feel so un-Cassidy right now.
you may have wore your original clothing, but they haven't given you the IDIT uniforms. But I figured they'd give it to you the night before, because Chewie wasn't wearing his clothing yet. Chewie was wearing clothing, just not the clothing we wanted him to wear.
You know,
the
I think it
only
helps bring
clothing I
attention
have.
to the need for immigration reform.
Yes, exactly. What she said. Immigration reform.
Wow. Yates says, think of the ramifications of that. What if you find nice aliens and they want to come visit or move here?
They can come and stay with me and my mom. I'm okay with that.
I have heard about your mom's tamales. They do sound good.
They're really good. They're really. Oh, let me tell you all about my mom's tamales. They're so good, so good.
Lieutenant Yates is going through an existential crisis at this point, trying to think of what you just said. The immigration. Oh, no one's thought about that. We'll have to start a new bureau. We'll have an idea. All right. Well, so dinner and uniforms. Let's go. And she takes you off to. It's not the best food in the world, but you're hungry, so it works out.
Better than prison food.
Yeah, she gets you the IDET uniforms, which are standard camo outfits with the IDET logo patch on the side, which is not a very fancy logo, but hey,
And
they had
IDET stands for
interdimensional exploration teams.
ID, interdimensional, like 2 words.
Hey, look, I didn't design the logo. I didn't design the phrase. I'm using what came in the book.
They really wanted it
Would
to
you-
spell
would-
shield.
Would you really want it to be IET?
I'm just saying,
It could have been worse. You could say IDET with. Never mind. It sounds like idiot too, but hey, whatever.
but
So
yeah, of course, Sadie will, Sadie is constantly exercising, running, and they have treadmills here. She runs miles every day and does push-ups and chin-ups and everything they'll let her do. So she's always hungry, always eating to maintain her build. Gotta stay fit, gotta stay ready to go.
it's funny. The military personnel here are all kind of happy to see you guys, and they treat you rather well. You don't feel like like an outsider, like a civvy. They all treat you pretty much like they treat their own because you're doing something really dangerous that they have no concept of, and but they've been briefed on it too, and so they get it's always oh no, go ahead, or I'll get that for you, or good job. Hope we're hope to hear back from you soon.
Dead
They're
man
really
walking.
kind about that. Yeah, and you hit the nail on the head. It's the dead man walking. Like these people are gonna die probably, like the last group did.
Chewie salutes people at random. He has no idea who he's supposed to salute, so he just picks anybody especially tall gets a salute.
You're not supposed to salute anybody, Chewie. You don't have
Why
to
not?
salute them. You're not in the military.
I'm not. Isn't that what this is
No.
all about? Why'd they
I
give us
mean-
guns?
Well, I guess because somebody might try to shoot at you.
We got uniforms and guns. That's the military.
They give you a uniform when you work at the sanitation company
Yeah,
picking
but
up trash.
they don't give the garbage man a gun. They gave me a gun and they gave me a uniform. That means I'm in the army. That means you salute people. I've seen it. I watch TV.
Has,
I
has
can't argue
anyone
with you,
seen if
Chewie.
Chewie eats crayons? Because he's got the M word written all over him.
You gotta. I think you got a good point there, Chewie. You should definitely salute the captain because she's a captain. You don't even have to.
That's right,
check
the
it out.
captain. Mon Capitan.
For those of you who haven't realized, Bob is playing Luis from the MCU.
I know what you're talking about.
So, does Cassie wear her uniform? Like, does she wear her rank on her collar and everything? Is that a thing? Or are you on some kind of detached duty?
Because now I'm working for NASA, not the Air Force, but you don't lose the title when you retire.
No, you're still your rank when you're working for NASA. 100%.
Yeah.
You're still Colonel Neil Armstrong or whatever.
Yeah. I don't know. That's the part I didn't get researched well enough. Shh.
No big deal. It's okay.
Brandon, didn't you write a book on this? Shouldn't you know?
I did in fact write a book on the Air Force. My dad worked for NASA, but
well, there you go. They want you guys to wear the IDET fatigues. It's just easier for you to manage. There's other clothing you can take with you, but for the press junket tomorrow, at least wear these things until you've gone through the portal. After that, it's all you.
Sure. What do the IDET uniforms look like? Are they like jumpsuits or what are they?
No, I would akin them more to army fatigues. Easy to wear, easy to put on. Name tags and IDET patches. Yeah, Louis. Chewie does have an outfit with a name tag and a special IDET patch on the side, so it's military to him.
Yep. They gave me boots.
Official army boots. Now you're going to have to polish those, right?
I got a belt, which they didn't give me in prison. Made it hard to keep my pants up.
That's why they give you a jumpsuit, so you don't have any pants.
You had to hold up your jumpsuit?
That's a messed up jumpsuit.
Yeah,
Okay.
as soon as they give Cassie a jacket and uniform, the first thing she'll do is take off her jacket, so she's just got her t-shirt on, just stretching around her biceps.
Fantastic. Is there anything else before we switch to the next day that you want to prep beforehand?
No, we should all get a good night of sleep. Big day tomorrow.
They
Yeah.
insist on that.
Sleep time.
Okay.
I think Lola over the night. No, I think one, she is spraying her graffiti tag on the back of her jumpsuit. Two, I think I think she stays up later than she intends, finishing that drawing of, the four of us standing by the disc. I think, I think she thinks, all right, it's a fairly realistic picture, but when she finishes, she steps back and it just has this weird effect of, it's like looking at like a Salvador Dali painting. Like you have the black orb and just all of our figures are sort of like skewed and warped as if they're being sucked into a black hole. It's mildly disturbing. And she closes that and goes to bed. It's like, no more art tonight.
That's not ominous or anything. Wow. Okay. So the next day, we'll just cut to the big platform room again, filled with media. All the major news agencies are there to take video of this. They've been told not to talk to you, to let them go, and let you guys go out to the equipment trucks. And you're driving? I'm guessing you're driving the vehicles through. Are you riding in the vehicles? How do you want to do that? Are you going to walk?
I assumed I was driving one of the
Yeah.
vehicles
I
and
mean, two of
towing
us
the
have
other
to
one.
drive, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been training for a few months. Who are our good drivers?
I am an excellent driver. I am the best driver. I am amazing behind the wheel of any vehicle with wheels on it. I am Superfly TNT in the vehicle. I am all about the driving.
Are you actually a good driver?
Yes, he's fucking amazing.
All right. I'll take that truck through on like one set of wheels.
Yes.
Man, don't tempt him.
I was assuming we would drive the truck and we would tow the Humvee behind it. But if somebody wants to drive the Humvee, then
no, it's one less vehicle to crank start.
That was my thought. Is I don't want to have to crank start two vehicles every time we cross a barrier.
No, good idea, Chewy. I think that's exactly what we should do.
Because as it is, we're going to drive this train through the gate. Then on the other side, somebody who's very big and strong is going to have to get out and crank that crank.
Actually, I want to actually crank start the truck on this side to make sure it works.
Oh, sure. So
good choice. Good choice.
You get out there,
and then we'll do it again on the other side. But I want to test it just before we go through.
You've never done this before. I mean, you know, they've told you what to do, but no one since the 1920s has done this on a regular basis. You get to you're like, oh, that's actually kind of it's got some. It doesn't have any give to it. It's actually, it took some energy to do that, and you get it going a couple times, and the truck kicks over. But it's you realize that if you did this wrong, in a rush, you probably get hurt.
Yeah, if it kicks back on you, you can literally break
an arm
on these things.
Well, I'll keep that in mind when I do it, to sort of hold it in a way that will allow it to kick away from me without taking my hand off. Maybe stand in a safer position than I was, just to make sure next time I do it.
Hopefully we'll never be in a situation where we need to wind it up quickly to get away from something.
Never.
Wow, that was a jinx if I ever heard one.
Most of the time it'll start. It'll already be charged. That's the hope.
So my question for the group is, who is the first person to walk up and touch the portal to go through?
Oh, I'm in the truck, so
won't be the truck.
I guess I will. I'll be the brave and fearless leader.
Okay. So as you guys are getting ready to leave, Cassidy walks up. And how do you touch it? You just put the finger?
I probably put my whole hand.
Okay. So you reach up to it and you touch it. And what happens, what you guys see before what she sees are two different things. You feel it. It's kind of cold to the touch, like pudding almost. And
Ooh,
then well,
it's salad.
It's a half second of like, oh, it's kind of soft, and then you feel it grab your hand and pull you through. There was no stepping through. It literally pulls you right through. So you see her walk up, touch it, and go right through it.
Whoa.
But you're pulled through, and I'm assuming the rest of you guys follow, or else,
Yep.
or Chloe and
Yep.
Brandon, do you want to touch it to go through
Nope.
in the
Sadie will
vehicle?
just basically run up the ramp and jump through it, like it was a hole.
That's even weirder. As you jump, it's almost like you stop midair as you hit it, and it yanks you through. You feel it's not like your momentum's carrying you. It's like you stop in midair and it just pulls you through,
All
which
right.
is a really weird feeling. Aha! Ah! As your center of gravity completely changes at that point. It was here, now it's over here. And Chloe, are you walking through it or are you riding in the vehicle?
I'll say I'll say Lola goes in the vehicle. That way it's 2 and 2.
Okay.
And on the other side, we get out of the way.
and Bob, as Chewie pulls the truck up to it, like, okay, well, they went through, no problem. You pull the truck up to it, and you feel it.
Chewie crosses himself and says a very pathetic version of a prayer to Saint Christopher. He doesn't actually go to church often enough to remember the right prayer, but he tries his best.
Okay.
I think Lola puts a hand on his shoulder. And it's like, we got this.
And as the truck touches the front of the portal, it's like you ever been on the roller coaster at Disneyland? We get launched an induction roller coaster, you get pulled forward, you get pushed back, and it's only this exact time you're pulled forward. Like you feel like, whoa. It's not out of control speed. It's just you weren't ready for the pull forward. And you guys roll through the portal. And now you're in this place that you've never seen before. It is so quiet. For those of you who are not in the truck, it is so quiet here. It's hard to describe. You're on this giant metal disc, probably 600 change feet across, if you're guessing. And there are portals just like the one you went through. In the different clock spots, I talked about this before, at the 1 to 2, the 4, the 5, the 6, the 7, the 8, and the 9, the 10. And you know those are all portals into Earth. But as you pull the truck up on the thing, you guys are standing there looking. It's just so quiet. You've never heard it this quiet before in your entire life. You're all used to a place that is full of noise, 24/7 almost, unless you've been in the Alaskan wilderness or far away from people. It's eerie. What's also odd, you've been outside at night. You really don't get to look at the stars. But this portal goes out to 600 feet and just drops off. It's a big disc into nothing. There is nothing there but this giant black field of distant fuzzy stars that seem to kind of change color and wink and move periodically. It's not disorienting, but it feels weird. Coming through the portal felt a little weird to your stomach, but it's not cold, it's not warm, it's just right. It's a
Is there a
constant
ramp
temperature.
on this side?
There's a
Or is
ramp on this side, yes.
Okay.
And you see all the other platforms have ramps as well.
Do the discs on this side turn around?
I'm sorry?
Do the discs rotate
Yeah.
here?
They all slowly rotate clockwise.
Okay.
It's really slow.
And they rotate on the short axis, right? Not on the long axis.
Yeah,
just
they
wanna
don't
make sure.
flip like this.
Okay. I just want to make sure. Get out and somebody get out and start the truck.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm already out. I'll start it.
The truck is still running. The battery dies.
So the battery dies, but the truck continues to run. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh great.
And you guys feel it, and there's anything electronic you guys own is dead.
Oh, I like this watch.
Was a digital watch, really?
Your Casio.
Good old $14 Timex.
Oh jeez. Yeah, that's dead.
So do
You
we
get an
know?
Omega, you're an astronaut.
Favorite's a favorite.
No, it's that one $15 Timex watch that you bought one time to work at summer camp, and you've just had it forever now. And do we know where Team 3 went? Is there horse poop anywhere?
No. You were told to go out the main portal to the right, which goes to the alternate portal setup,
Okay.
and then to make a
Oh, was
right
that
at
when
that
she
point.
was doing the thing and I was
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
that was a Leslie wasn't quite paying attention
You
problem, not a
noticed that-
Cassidy problem.
Sure. You notice that there are 9 portals on this disc. 8 of them, like the one you came out of, are all about the same size. The one at the 6 o'clock position is larger, like it's some kind of hub or main leaving point.
Yep.
And they went out
Yep.
that way, and it's the second platform that's out there, which you haven't seen yet. And they supposedly made a right, whatever that means.
So we should, from this disc, we need to go through one more portal to another disc, and then we need to travel down a road from there. Is that right?
That's what they made it sound like.
Okay.
Okay.
So
I don't
we
have the
go-
map in front of me, but we did
We go
look at it.
straight across to the number 6, to the 6 o'clock giant portal. Is that the plan?
Okay. Yeah, we're following Team 3's supposed trajectory.
Well, look, let's be clear. Chewie paid absolutely no attention in any of the briefings
yeah.
about where we were going. He's expecting you to tell him.
Nope, we have a copy of the map,
All right.
so we know where we're going. Sure, let's just
Yeah. So
head right on through.
All right.
Wow, there's a lot of stars here.
This is I don't think I like this. Yeah, let's go someplace else.
Another thing to point out, it feels like it should be night, but it's not. It's like permanent twilight. So easy to see, but dark on the outside. But you can see that if you there's an edge of this disc, and then there's nothing.
Yeah, let's go someplace else.
Someplace else sounds good.
Yeah, floor it.
So
Okay.
we're going straight across, right? To
Crank
door,
this truck up.
All
door
right.
number, whatever door they said.
Position in the 6.
Yeah.
Just for reference, I think I gave you guys what the platforms look like, and I'm gonna post that over in the Discord chat. For those of you who aren't on the Discord for Stolen Fires, I'm sorry, but we're posting special information for players there.
Ooh.
And I closed the documentation. That's great, Mike. Good job. So let me fix this. It is.
I think Lola is looking around and says, I kind of thought we were gonna, end up on an alien planet and have some, I don't know, weird slime towers.
I'm sure that's coming. This thing is 50 miles long.
I thought we were gonna go like to another planet, and there'd be like purple trees and spaceships and stuff like that. Nobody told me we would be out here in the middle of nowhere in a whole lot of nothing, and I don't like it.
Yeah, this is the between part. You
And-
come to these discs, and then there's these long roads that connect the discs, and then you go through another one of these circles, and then you go to the different planet.
All right,
We're
let's
in
go.
space.
Yeah, this is I don't like this.
And Cassidy would know, since you work for NASA, you understand astronomy. These may be stars or lights. You're not quite sure. They don't look like any kind of constellations,
That's what I was gonna ask.
and they tend to
Um.
move and change colors.
Oh. It's the Neopets acid
Yeah, you don't want to stare at that for too long.
constellations.
You can get lost in staring at that. Okay, so we'll just move this along, and you guys go up the secondary ramp into the portal, and you pull out onto this massive pathway, and it just goes off into the distance. You can't see an end from this point. It just goes straight. But
How
it's
wide is it?
Yeah, how
I
wide is it?
believe they are. Oh, I had that information written down, and I don't know where it went. Well, that's stupid. Hold on. Oh, I got like 6,000 pages open. Give me a minute.
Yeah. I mean, the real
Not
question
enough.
is, how wide is it compared to our truck? Is it a challenge to drive the truck on it, or is it just really
Here it is.
huge and it's no problem?
The fringe roads between platforms are 47 feet wide.
Oh, that should be
Yeah,
enough for the
it's-
truck.
the truck's like 12 feet wide.
Rather
It'd be
big.
easy
So
to it'd be easy to accidentally drive the truck off it though, so be careful.
Yeah,
And there's no
don't
guardrails.
don't worry. Chewy's got
There's
this.
that little guy in the cloud who will come and get us with his
Chewy's
fishing
got
pole
this.
and
This
put us
is-
back on.
This is kind of like Mario Kart, Rainbow Road. Chewy's got this. I have spent a lot of time on Rainbow Road. Punch it, floor it,
Okay.
moving across this road as fast as I can in this big
All
old
right.
truck, which is probably like 40 miles an hour. But
47 miles later.
wow,
Interesting. 47 across, 47 long. Huh, weird. You see another portal in the distance. You pull up the ramp. You go through it, and now you're on a different set. It looks a little different than that. Find another picture.
all right. So this is not Chewy's thought, but is it really 47 feet and 47 miles long?
Yeah,
47
they tell
feet
you-
wide and
I
47
think
miles.
I thought
long?
it was 49 miles or something like that, close to it.
That's
because-
ever 47,
because
47.
That is fucking weird. If it was 47 meters wide and 47 kilometers long, that would make sense. But 47 feet by 47 miles, that makes no sense at all.
Apparently, aliens even
That is-
hate the metric
Yeah.
system.
But
Yeah,
I mean, I don't think
aliens use the imperial system.
I don't think it's exactly 47 miles. I think it's just ish.
If you get a chance, if you're part of this and part of the Stolen Fires, you can look at the box seats to see the pictures of the platforms. Just so for referencing for players, you want to go to the box seat section of Stolen Fires. You can see that those two pictures. The alternate platform, as you pull onto it, has. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Leslie.
Have we seen evidence of horses?
No,
Yeah.
I actually haven't.
I've been wondering if you drop stuff on the platform or on the road, how long does it stay around? Does it get swept off somehow once in a while?
Are the little guys who come out here and clean up after us?
That sounds like a good experiment.
Yeah, why don't we leave
Let's-
something on the road on the
What do
way
we have
there?
a
Just
ton of?
a random
We have a
thing.
ton of chapstick.
Yeah, we'll just leave something in the middle of the road. We'll stand a little tube of chapstick on the road.
Leave a trail of chapstick. They'll know where to find us because they'll just follow the trail.
Because we have
chapstick.
like 500 chapsticks.
No, I'm not.
I'm sorry,
saying,
we have 500
Let's-
Burt's Bees lip
Let's
balms.
be clear. I'm not saying that's a bad idea. I think it's a hilarious idea, but I also think it's awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll leave something out there. It doesn't have to be a million of them, but like a couple, so we can check and see if they're still there later. That's interesting. And on the new platform, does it look the same as the other one?
You know, it looks a little different. It looks the same, but different. In this case, you have 8, 9, 10, 11. So we have 12 portals. 4 large ones, one you just came out of, and 8 smaller ones. Now they explained to you this one. This is what Sayumi called the alternate platform. Leads to alternates of our Earth, and it's already been explored.
Okay.
And there's a list for you guys. If you look at the Trello, there's a list of things, and I can provide that for folks in the audience. We'll talk about that at the end of the game.
Okay. And we want to turn either left or right to go
Right.
to the -1 set. And I can't remember which it was, left
Right.
or right.
Lieutenant Yates told you to turn right.
All right. So we're gonna take a right turn and go through the other large portal onto the next road.
Okay.
Right turn.
Yep. You go out. You make make the turn. Same thing as last time. Same kind of road. Same kind of distance.
And still no horse poop.
Nope.
Constipated horses.
Terrified horses.
Or they scooped. I mean, maybe they were just responsible and
Oh,
threw their
yeah, we
horse
didn't.
poop into
They might have
space.
had poop bags.
Yeah.
Well, weren't they in a trailer?
Were they? I thought
They
they
said
were
they had a
riding.
truck and a trailer full of horses.
Oh,
A pickup
well,
truck
I
and a
guess
trailer.
that's it
Yeah,
then.
but do you really think that all the horse crap stays inside the horse trailer? Because
Well,
I've
I
got
mean,
news for you.
I'm sure it doesn't, but still, there probably wouldn't be like big old road apples laying around.
I'm just glad the truck doesn't die every time we go through a
Yeah,
portal.
me too. There'd be a bunch of dust and crap all over the place, but not like piles.
Yeah, there's no
But also,
dust,
like,
anything like that on the platform either. No dust, things like that at all. Now I
are
didn't mention earlier, but as you pull into the ultimate platform, you notice that each of the 8 smaller discs has a small pylon next to it, about 4.5 feet tall, and it's the top kind of tilts down to the side, and there's a triangle and triangle lights inside of the triangle.
it's where the Roomba comes from.
Okay. What have we been told about those pylons and what they are and how they work?
You've been told that from what they understand, which is very little at this point, that they have something to do with maybe possibly environmental controls or how the disk is turned on or off. Because they know that one of them on Earth, a couple of them on Earth are turned off and they can't enter them, but they realize they know where they are. They're under the ocean, so probably safe that they're turned off. And so that's indicated by a flashing light in position number 2, I believe. I'll have to look it up, but
So is the little indentation, is it like a size of one of those cubies that we make glow?
oh, I'm nuts! I forgot to tell you that they're going to give you one of the orange crystal that they have that's extra to take with you just in case.
Just in case of what?
Just in case they don't know.
So we can turn something on or off?
Turn something
Or
on, find a Fringeworthy. Who
Fast
knows?
forward? I don't
Who's
know.
going to carry it is the question.
Not it. Captain carries it. Captain should
Okay,
take the
I can
responsibility.
carry it. I'll make it a little pouch to live in my backpack.
All right, we'll put that on your character sheet and make certain that you manage that because you don't want to lose it.
Maybe we'll find some more.
So as you pull onto the second roadway and you drive for about 5 minutes, you think you hear what sounds like thunder. And it's very, very, very light. You don't know where it's coming from. There's no lightning and no clouds. And then all of a sudden, across the windshield, are you guys all riding in the truck now, or is anyone walking?
No, Chewie wanted
We've
to
had to
go
go like
fast.
Yeah.
if we had to go like 50 miles, we'd probably be right in the truck.
Mhm.
Okay, so Lola and the captain are in the back of the truck with the massive amounts of gear, and Sadie and Chewie are in the front cab then, or Lola's in the front of the cab? I'm sorry,
Yeah. Yes.
Lola's in the front cab with Chewie. Okay, make certain. So Chewie's driving. You hear the thunder, and all of a sudden on the front windshield, slap, and there's this blue piece of goo right across the windshield. It's like someone threw a Jello mold at you, hits it, and
What flavor
flies down
salad
the
is
windshield.
that?
And then you guys in the back hear it flap, flap, flap as you see different colors of this gelatin mass start hitting the roadway.
In front of us?
Is it
all over in
raining?
front of you guys, all over the truck.
It's raining Jello?
Can I?
It's a lot goopier than Jello. It's more like melted Jello would be. It's goopy,
Does it
like slime.
does it smell like fruity?
Well, is Chewie stopping the truck is the first question because you really can't grab it until it does.
I'm slowing down because I don't want to slide off the road.
Good idea.
Okay, it's just raining this stuff now. Not heavy, but enough to like the hell, and it's just the horrible sound of slap, slap.
I turned the windshield wipers on.
That just makes it worse.
Oh.
Is it like flubber and it's just all like
Jello slime. Cassie wanted to reach out and grab some. As it's hitting, you reach up the top of the truck and you put your hand out, and you get slimed. Hit your hand, and it's this weird purple goo, and there's kind of an acidic feel to it. And she's like, "Oh, it kind of tingles on my hand. Now I can't get it off my hand. Fuck."
Don't touch it! Don't touch it!
You know, astronauts usually would use, I don't know, in a movie, you'd use a stick for that.
Yeah.
As her arm is now covered in purple goo.
I'm out of practice. Um,
And the
what
more you
do
try
we?
and shake it up, the worse it gets.
Oh, then I stop
Oh,
shaking.
this is
I
gonna
feel like I would
ruin
notice that.
the paint on our truck.
Yeah, we'll close the hatch and I'll have a look at her arm and make sure it doesn't seem like it's burning her or anything like that.
No, it's not burning her. It's definitely got a
It's
very lightest. It's like it'd be like heavy duty
it's a
vinegar.
mimic.
Not
It's a
not
Oh, we
not
mimic.
a
know.
5% vinegar solution, but maybe like a 40% vinegar solution. Like, oh, that's gonna stink. That's gonna tingle a lot, but nothing harmful. Just weird. It doesn't seem to be moving its own accord. It's not alive, from what you can tell.
Should we try putting water on it?
Well, I'll clean it off as best I can without touching it. I'll put on some gloves.
Oh, we have a lot of those.
Yep, and then I'll clean it off as best I can, and put it in a bag, in a waste bag, bio waste.
Okay, we'll get back to that because it's going to be a minute and longer than a minute to try and do this without making a mess. So Chewy slid on the truck. The front of the truck is now covered in multicolored where these slimes. It's just all over the truck and it's just kind of rolling down it as the truck is warm. I guess you could tell it's melting. You're not quite sure. It's just goopy all over the front of the truck now.
See, we should ask for flamethrowers.
Did they
It
give
Um,
us
doesn't
the
seem to be screwing with
flamethrower?
the pathway at all.
so I am slowing to a crawl because I don't want to. Unless you guys tell me that you want to go faster, I'm going to slow down to a crawl and treat this like snow, and move super slow. Crawl
Like
through
I
it.
imagine the windshield's probably it's harder to see out of it too.
Yeah, I'm
Ever since the windshield wipers went on, you know.
minimum
I mean,
visibility.
it's a 3-month trip. There's no need to hurry.
Jelly on the the surface of the road, which I don't know what the traction's like here. I'm gonna slow to a crawl.
Okay,
Can
no, go ahead.
can you even see out the windshield or is it all goopy?
It sounds like it's fairly goopy.
Also, you hear me yelling, "Don't touch it."
Nobody was going to touch it except
So
for
don't touch
you.
it.
So it's going to take Sadie about 5 minutes to get this stuff into the bag, but it's all over your hands. It's on your clothing now. It just sticks to everything. Not in a bad way. How did it get on my? It's on my arm. How did it get on my arm?
Oh, you're gonna find it in
It's
awful
it's not
places.
crawling on you. It just seems to get all over you no matter what you try to do. So you do get a good sample in the bag.
Well, we'll take this back to the lab for analysis.
Someone else can find out if it's edible.
I pull a Sharpie out of, we tie the bag shut. I pull a Sharpie out of my bag and I put space goo on the bag and the date. Assuming we know the date.
The October 1st,
Yeah.
2008.
Scientific collection, space goo, October 1st, 2008. Platform.
Day one.
Day one already
Then I
sliding.
pull out my notebook and I go, today we found some space goo.
It found you, it looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you drive slow, it shouldn't be a problem. I will make you make a drive tech check. But if you drive faster, it's probably really dangerous.
Yeah. Chewy does not want. Chewy drives down the dead center of that road. He does not want to get near either edge, and anything that causes him to deviate from dead center, he immediately corrects.
All right. So you make it through this. Eventually, this storm of gelatin stops, and you make it to the other portal, and you pull up from through it, and you're on to this -1 alternate platform. And we'll have a map for you guys for that later
Ooh.
that you can fill out. Because the important thing about this is taking surveys. You work in the United Nations, you get to take surveys. So I have forms for y'all to fill out.
Does the goo go with us?
It stays on the truck. In fact, if you guys pull it through, if you want to stop and get out of the truck and take a look at what it's done to your truck, you're welcome to.
Yeah. Once we get to the other side, I leave the truck running. Once we get to the other side, I'm assuming there's nothing else still falling from the sky.
No, it stopped.
Then I stop the truck, and we get out. And Unfortunately, I did not think to include a pressure washer in our equipment request.
You get out of the truck, and it looks like a hippie van from the 60s. It's just got colors everywhere. And you can see where it's run off, and it's not destroyed the paint. It's kind of cleaned the paint.
No, I'm into it.
Could be worse.
Yeah. We couldn't have brought a pressure washer anyway because we wouldn't want to waste the water.
Yeah, good point.
And I assume we have a big water tank on the truck.
No. You have portable water with you, yes. But
Yeah, I'm assuming we have survival water and
yeah, survival water. This is not.
Probably-
We're not that far in the future to have a urine recycle, so it's not going to happen for you
yeah,
guys.
I'm guessing we have like a barrel of potable water, but probably not. You're right. We wouldn't have enough water to actually spray anything off. I get a little bit of Windex and spray it on there. There's got to be a hand squeegee that I can clean the windows.
Yeah, you get
with.
the squeegee works great.
Yeah,
you don't need to spray anything. I just
squeegee off the windows. Fuel attendant
So,
style.
you know what we haven't tried yet? Well, while we're doing this, while Chewy is squeegeeing the window, Sadie will walk over near the edge of the road, and I'll just take out like a penny, something I've got in my pocket,
okay.
and I'll just throw it out into space.
How hard do you throw it?
I give it a lob. I mean, I've pitched baseball. I used to
Right.
play
You're not
professional
throwing
basketball.
it,
I can throw
you're-
things.
You're flicking it.
So yeah, I'm giving it a toss. I don't want to throw it so hard that I won't be able to see where it goes. So
Okay.
I'm giving it like a relatively light throw because I want to watch what happens to it.
All right. So you just chuck it, lightly toss it.
Yeah, give it an
And-
underhand toss.
It flies to the edge of the portal, and it starts to come down a little bit, and then it floats off.
Yeah, there's no gravity off the side of this road. They told us that, but I hadn't seen it. So I
It
kind of
floats
wanted
off, and
see it.
eventually you don't see it anymore.
Yeah, and just you lose track of it. It's space. Yeah, if we drive off this road, I assume we'll just float away. That's terrible.
Yeah, we're not driving off
That
this
sounds
road.
unpleasant.
Don't worry, not going to drive off this road.
Okay.
So, which way do we go here? We go left, we go right.
Well, like I said before, now you're on the -1 platform. No one's ever been to before.
Oh,
Okay,
So, like I
we
said
know
before,
that
you-
they came to this platform, or they said they were going to come to this platform. But from here, we don't know which portal they intended to go through. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. So there are 8 small portals here and 2 big portals, or 4?
4.
Okay.
Hmm.
You know, if you go left from here, it's out to what they call the system platforms that are probably planets in that prime world's location. But they've asked you not to mess with those because they don't know if they go to space, they could actually kill you or not.
Okay.
That, and Mike doesn't want to deal with that crap. It's an annoying part of the game for me.
And the platform we're on now should go to, is this a prime platform?
This is one of the alternate platforms. So
Okay, so
you've
this is
got
also an alt. So this would
Right.
go to alternate versions of the
prime world.
parallel world that is the prime of this set.
Right. So you have 8 smaller portals and the 4 larger ones. Larger ones lead to more pathways to other portals. So if you turn right onto this one, if you turn right again, you're out to this alternate prime. But you have 8 portals to explore here.
Do you think we should go up to the alternate prime for this so we can see what like the default for this world is before we look at all of its 8 alternates?
I think so. That's probably where Team 3 would have gone first.
Sounds logical to me.
I'm wondering how similar the alternate -1 prime world is like to ours. Or is it totally different?
One never knows.
All right. Well, I
You
guess
can-
we'll
you
go.
can go. It's up to you guys how you want to handle this. Do you want to go and check out the prime world? Do you want to check the things that are here? It's up to you. I'm not going to tell you what to do.
Yeah, it's like
I know
You
it
know,
sucks. I'm sorry.
getting close to lunchtime. I guess we could eat on the way.
So I guess
Chewie-
Prime World first.
Chewie
yes?
votes for the option that gets us off these platforms as quickly as possible.
Well, that would be going through one of these alternates. If we want to go up to the prime, we're going to have to drive up another 50-mile road.
Maybe through the rain again.
I mean, maybe, but I mean, the rain didn't do anything, didn't hurt us.
Okay.
I don't like the rain.
As y'all are fiddling around here, I would like person least involved in this conversation, which would be Lola,
Hmm?
to make me a spot check since you're just kind of looking around.
Sure.
First roll of the game. First
Roll
roll
for
of the
wandering
game.
monsters.
Let's see. And would you like me to do it in the Discord dice?
It's however you want to do
channel?
it. I said I trust you guys, so you can roll it yourself or use the Discord roller. It's up to you. Not monitor the Discord roller,
Oh,
but I will
question.
now.
It's
That's
question
question mark
roll,
roll, yeah.
D100.
Yep, that's it. All right.
71, which is higher than my spot of 51, which means I fail, I believe.
Yes, you fail. So yeah, no worries. Okay. So you guys can just take the truck and just turn right and head off to the prime of this alternate.
Are you up for that, Chewie?
Yep,
You're the
let's
driver.
do it.
Okay.
Okay, here we go again. You make the right hand turn. You skip the eight portals there. You turn right. You go in off through the portal onto the roadway. 47 miles.
All right, watching for
When we get to
more-
the end of this road, we'll take a break before we go through because Chewie's been driving for hours.
watching for more rain.
Why don't you take a break on the alternate platform? We can take a break in real life.
All right.
So I'll make certain we get a chance for players to take a break. So we're gonna take let's say what it's currently 8:22. So come back at 8:30. We all good with that?
Sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Bob, can you put
All
us
right.
on? Hey everybody, we're back. All right, ready for part 2 of tonight. Fantastic. So we last left our characters. They had made it to the -1 alternative platform. That sounds like a band. No, I said the -1 alternate platform, and they were discussing what they're going to do next while Chewie takes a break from driving the past 150 miles.
So, Chewie, are you tired? Do you want somebody else to drive?
Oh no, I'm good. I'm good.
Okay.
I got this. I told you I like driving. It's what I do.
Well, you can like driving, but you
Yeah.
don't want to drive for,
No, this truck
20 hours straight.
this truck straight. Yeah. Nope. I like this truck.
Okay.
You know what? Well, let's have some snacks. Take a breather.
Stretch your legs. You can
Bust
go
out
very
the
far.
beef stroganoff MREs.
Chili Mac.
I like
Do we
the
want-
buffalo chicken ones best myself.
Mm.
So I looked it up. Buffalo chicken they didn't start making until like 2011.
Boo.
They didn't have
Yeah,
one,
gotta
but they
gotta do your
did have
research about these important
but
details.
they
of
did
Buffalo
have Chili
chicken
Mac in
MREs.
2008.
Chili Mac's probably okay.
Yeah, the chili mac hot off the presses.
Quite literally.
All right.
Hey, MREs are a modern miracle. Amazing how that stuff works. Shake it
Do
up,
they
throw it in
come
the
with?
bag.
Do we have a bunch of tiny bottles of Tabasco now
Yeah.
from our MREs?
Yeah, and during our
every
our
MRE
break when
comes with a little
driving,
tiny bottle of Tabasco sauce, and if you're not going to use it, then you save it and you trade it later.
right? Don't waste Tabasco sauce.
I think we also have a case of Tabasco sauce on the truck.
I think you're right.
That would not surprise me at all. Probably in the equipment list.
Because I
somewhere,
put it
think.
on the list.
Yeah,
So
I put cayenne pepper on the list. You got to have something to put on those MREs.
All right. So
what direction are we going now?
you would technically, if you wanted the prime world, you'd make a right and go through the large platform, the large disc. Sorry, on the platform. And definitely, you can tell the difference. There are the 4 large discs and the 8 smaller discs.
All right.
So, Chewie, are you actually from Bolivia? Like, were you born there?
My mom's from Bolivia, and I was born in Bolivia, but she brought me to the United States when I was just a baby, and so I've never been to Bolivia. I don't know anything about Bolivia, and I don't have any friends in Bolivia. But my mom and my aunt and an uncle and all my cousins, they all live in Arizona.
Yeah. No, I get that. My father was born in Guatemala, but came to the United States when he was a baby. When my grandfather married my grandmother in Guatemala, and then they came back here.
Right, Guatemala. Never been there either.
That's,
I
it's not as far as Bolivia.
I've barely left Arizona. I went to California. We went to Disneyland when I was a kid. It was pretty cool. Got to ride the Autopia.
You know,
Should go to
maybe
Europe,
there's an
Chewie.
alternate Disney World in one of these lands.
I have a
And,
cousin. He lives in LA,
That
and we
down
stayed
for
with him.
later.
See,
Disneyland.
so-
Got it. Okay.
I've been to Paul Bunyan Land.
That does not surprise me.
What's Paul Bunyan Land? Is that
Uh,
a real thing?
Mhm.
Yeah, it's a real thing. Like real life, Leslie has also been to Paul Bunyan Land.
Do they have roller coasters or just I don't know,
Yeah,
they give
there
you an
was-
axe and some trees?
There was a log ride, and a giant Paul Bunyan that talks to you.
That would, yeah.
There were other things. Those are just the things I remember because I was like 7.
No, I feel like out here in one of these worlds we could meet a giant Paul Bunyan that talks to us. That's a thing that could happen.
And a real Babe the Blue Ox, who in the winter
Yeah.
when he eats snow. Oh wait, Babe didn't make the milkshakes. That was the purple cow.
I mean, they did say there was at least one world that was like a radioactive atomic wasteland with giant monsters.
Oh yeah.
That's it. I'm looking for Paul Bunyan World.
I mean, I
Maybe
read
that's
all of the crazy stuff they gave us in that spiral bound book with the scary cover. It was bad.
maybe Paul Bunyan wasn't a folktale. Maybe he actually came through one of the portals.
Yeah, I mean,
and
the portals
was
have been
real.
around for, I mean, I guess 1,000,000 years or some ridiculous thing. I mean, they're really old. They're in the Antarctic, so yeah, and they're all over the planet, right? There's 8 of them, So yeah, stuff could have come through them before. We don't know. Maybe that's aliens. Maybe
Yep.
that's
Albanian's an alien. That's it.
Yeah, or it's elves or it's Bigfoot or stuff like that. Did Bigfoot come through the? Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
Maybe we'll meet Bigfoot.
The whole world of Bigfoot. I need some
We're-
coffee.
Yeah, we're thinking about Bigfoot and aliens, and when we go through one of these, what we're going to end up with is like Minnesota is what we're going to end up with.
I'd rather have Bigfoots and aliens.
I can't disagree. All
Liz, are
right.
you making coffee right now?
Do we have like what do we have for stove wise? I don't
There's a
remember.
camp gas propane stove you have.
Well, doesn't the truck have like a little galley-ish in it? Because it's kind of like an RV, isn't it? You're supposed to be able to live out of it.
No, it's not really an RV. It's like a big
No,
cargo truck.
it's a big cargo truck.
It's like an
Okay.
enormous deuce and a half.
Well, then
It's like a
when
box
we
truck.
Yeah.
when we stop for breaks, we can pull the propane stove out and we can make something if we want. But yeah, we have to stop to do it. We have to sort of camp.
Yeah, we should.
You never thought you'd be doing this, but you're camping in space.
Yeah.
Well, I
not
have
camp in space.
I'm sure we brought instant coffee. Do we have that in the MREs?
I do not want to camp in space. I would
I
like
don't know
us
why
to
you
get
don't want to camp in space, Chewie. That seems really, really cool.
No.
Yeah, but like a white gas burner to heat up a pot of water, that's like our 20-minute break.
I want to get to someplace where there's ground.
I mean, sure. All right. So
We don't
when
have to
get
have
the
coffee.
next, so when we get to the next platform, we have to decide which thing we're going to go through. I guess we're just going to start with number 1 because we don't have any other. I mean, does that feel good?
Well, according to the Sound of Music, you should start at the beginning because it's a very good place to start.
Okay.
Chloe, what is Lola doing this time? Everyone seems to be arguing and stretching their legs, or discussing and stretching their legs.
Probably trying to sketch out some of these constellations, which are apparently keep on moving and are very
Yeah.
hard to sketch. It's not going very well.
Yeah, you'll draw things, you look up, and they've moved. And
Hey,
it
look.
almost feels like they're teasing you. They don't move while you're looking at them. You look down, look back up, and they move.
Hey, Lola.
Hmm?
Have you tried spray painting the ground of the road or the platform? I mean, we left things on the platform to see if it would still be there, but I'm curious if you could paint it. That would be cool. You could like mark it that we were here in case anybody
Negative.
comes along after us if we don't come back.
You know, that's a good idea. Yeah, I think she'll start to grab some of her spray paint. Just do a test stroke. Does it stick onto whatever surface
Yeah,
this
you
is?
spray paint it and you get a little curve there. What are you gonna do with it?
All right, I
What kind
think
of art are we making?
I think she's gonna do a quick tag, but then she's gonna put some arrows that are labeling, which thing is which.
Yeah.
Home.
Yeah, that's a good idea. That is a great idea. Do that.
I don't know if it'll stick, but we can. Before we go through each gate, I can put down I can write on the ground where we're going.
Yeah, I like it because we're having a lot of trouble finding these other guys, and I don't want anybody to have a lot of trouble finding us.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wish we thought of that earlier.
Okay, so Chloe, why don't you make me an art check? I think that's a good idea to do.
Okay, that's
so
my best skill.
I'm stunned. So yeah, I think it's just straight arts. You have the drawing, painting, things like that. Painting.
Roll D100. Yep. 61, and I have a 76, which means I succeed.
You did succeed, so you had a nice piece of work in there. You get your tag on there, and then some like this way, H for home, and that way O for out.
Nice.
Something that you would understand.
Yeah, probably the numbers, which Lil might understand. Chloe's still trying to get her head around what these numbers and how the system works.
Okay.
All right. So when we get to this platform, have we reached the platform without incident?
You're still on the alternate platform. You haven't left yet.
Okay, well, we leave.
She was tagging it, and you guys were drinking coffee.
Excellent. We'll get out of here and go down the road.
All right, so you guys hop back into the truck, and you head off towards what should be the prime for -1. All right, you
Yep.
travel the 50 miles or so, and you pull through onto the platform, and looks rather clean.
Yeah. Well,
Nothing. Looks like the one you saw when you were at home. No
Sure,
changes here.
we'll also take the time here to let Lola tag the platform to show we were here.
Mhm.
And then we have a
Is
little
here.
diagram of which platform, which portal is supposed to be number 1 based on the one we came in. So we marked the one we came in, and then we're going to choose portal number 1, and that's the first one we're going to try.
Right. So just so you understand, there are 8 portals,
Mhm.
8 small portals and 1 large portal. So you have portals at the 1 and 2, the 4 and 5, the large one you came through at 6,
Mhm.
portals at 7 and 8, and then 10 and 11. If you look at it at a clock base, does that make sense?
You just said there are 8 portals plus 1 large one, and then you counted up to 11.
No. Portals at 1 and 2, portals at 4 and 5.
Oh, I see. The positions are numbered even if there's not a portal there.
Correct. I'm using clock base to describe
Got
it.
it.
I thought that was clear. I'm sorry. Yeah.
All right,
So
that makes sense.
1 and 2, 4 and 5, big one at 6, 7 and
Okay.
8, and 10 and 11.
Right. But I'm talking about the numbers that are on the map that you gave us. The portals
Right.
are numbered on the map.
Right. I have to pull the document up now.
Yeah.
Hold
So
on.
my suggestion would be that we go through the same corresponding portal on this one. This is not Chewy's suggestion. This is Bob's suggestion. We go
Mhm.
through the same corresponding portal as the one we came out of on our Earth, which
That would
I
put us in
think
the
would put us
Antarctic.
in Antarctica, but it also seems just like the safest one.
Maybe,
And
but
if
like we
if it
know
does
the
put us in
Canadian
if it does put
is
us in
in
Antarctica, then we at least have a good idea of where it's at, and then we can kind of correspond beyond that and figure out where we're going to go next, which is probably Canada. Or
Yeah.
I'm willing to start with Canada, but it seems like the going out the same way we came in seems like a good idea to me. But
No, I think that's an
Yeah.
idea that we would collectively come up with, and it feels safe. And we know that if we go through it, we can immediately turn around and come back.
yeah,
But Sadie would call out, I think we should definitely have one person go through and see what's there before we drive the truck through.
sounds fair.
I mean, maybe there's not room for the truck, right?
Sounds fair.
And then turn around and come back and report.
Did we bring gas
So
masks?
yeah, we have environment suits, but we know, correct me if I'm wrong, Mike, but we know that when you go through a portal, there's like a bubble of safety
Oh,
on the other side.
Yeah. What Simon pointed out to everyone guys in the basic training was that they know that there is, when you enter a world through a portal, not the place out where you guys are currently. When you enter a world through a portal, there is some kind of bubble that allows breathable atmosphere for the people walking through it, but it only goes out to about maybe 5 feet beyond the actual portal and the platform. So you have to be really careful. But yeah, so if you end up underwater, there's a place underwater for you
Okay,
to
so it's
handle.
All right.
theoretically, unless it's broken, which we know they can be broken, it's pretty safe to walk through and then check it and come back.
Yeah, just to reference the broken piece, there is the one portal on Earth in Libya that no one can use because people walk through it, they catch fire. So they assume that's broken and not touching it.
How do we know when they're broken?
You said you catch on fire.
That makes sense.
I unvolunteer for this. I'm gonna wait in the truck.
So what we will do is, are there pylons next to these
There are
ones?
pylons next to those. Real quick before we get to that, I did share the -1 platform sheet, so you can see that in the primary chat for the group, and so you can access that and edit the document. I've set it in a Google sheet, so you guys have added access to that.
Right.
Okay, so what number was Earth on the prime platform, or where?
Oh, the base where you came through.
Mhm.
Hang on 1 second. Matsumi Station is number 1. Just to make it easier, I put it number 1.
Oh, great.
Yeah, so we should go to number 1 on the alternate platform.
All right. Well, I'm going to say we should take turns being the first through to check it out. And so since Cassie went first when we came from the base, I'll go first this time. And I'll check it out and then come right back. So,
All right. If you're end up on fire, I'll get a fire extinguisher. I'll get
Good
a fire
idea.
extinguisher from the truck, and I'll wait.
Oh.
yeah, that is surprisingly a smart idea. I'm super in favor of it. Okay.
You asked about the pylons. I'm sorry, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I was
what's
going to
this
look at the
pylon look
pylon
like?
to see if it looks normal, if it looks like the other ones we've seen, or if it has some kind of flashing light that looks different than anything we've seen before and indicates maybe danger.
So how it works out in the triangle, you have, it's triangle, little piece, it's multiple interlocking triangles. So take one
Mhm.
big triangle and put 9 triangles inside of that, which you can do. The position number 1 at the top is obviously depression for a crystal, and they know that the light below it shows that it's on, and all the portals you've walked through so far have that designation that they're on.
Okay.
Okay. The portal is on.
Let's see,
Right.
and that's all you would know what they would be. No one actually knows. They haven't experimented with them to know exactly what they do.
That's true, but we do know what the ones look like on Earth for each portal. And so if this one looks like one of the ones on Earth that we know is safe, that would be a message. So is that true?
They're looking at the position number 1 for the for this platform.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the number 2 light is on and steady. No, the lights are flashing
Great.
or lit up.
Okay. I'll be right back, she
Good
said
luck.
dramatically. And I reach out and I touch it.
Okay. You reach out and you touch it, and it pulls you through, and you're on you're on a rocky outcropping, and you can see how it's obviously daylight. There's forest surrounding you with pine trees. You can smell them. Smell them is so strong. You've been in forest before, so you used to this. It feels old where you're at. This forest feels old. Cloudy sky, daylight, which is kind of a shock because you spent the past couple hours in twilight.
Mhm.
You look back and you can see the outline where the platform should be, but it looks like it's worked into the stone you're standing on. So the metal kind of shows here or there, and the ramp leads down into the forest floor, forest floor that's covered in pine needles, and it just smells old here, but it smells calm. You hear
Okay.
birds chirping. You hear squirrels who seem to be angry that you're here, because
Mhm.
squirrels are always angry when people are around.
Does it look like there is sufficient room in this forest to drive the truck that we brought with us? Or is it too dense?
You could drive a truck through the portal, but how you turn around and get it back out would probably be a pain in the ass.
We would theoretically be able to back it up through the portal?
Yeah, it would be a challenge going back uphill on a bumpy stone outcropping, but you could do it. I mean, Chewie says he could do it.
Okay. Well, I
Sure,
will.
we can do it.
Once I have I will listen for a minute. I don't hear any weird sounds, just forest
Nope.
sounds. Everything looks good. I'll turn around and I'll touch the portal again to go back through.
Before you do that, do you walk down the ramp and actually into the forest area, or no?
I'm not going to walk further than the bubble of safety.
Okay. You smell, like I said, you smell pine forest. It feels clear. The air is super clean. You've been in city life and go out and live in the country. It's like, whoa, too nice here. Kind of clear.
I grew up in Los Angeles.
And so pollution is leaving your lungs. It feels weird.
All right.
I just want to make it clear before you went back through.
It seems fine. And I'll come back.
Okay.
All right, I'm primed with the fire extinguisher.
I'm good. Not on fire.
Flop.
All right.
And it makes kind of that sound. Flop.
So it's a forest. It's daylight. It seems fine. But there's probably not room to drive the truck around. We might want to take the Humvee. through instead. Because there's a lot of trees, and I don't think we could drive the truck and turn it around with all the trees in the way.
All right, I'll drive the Humvee. I'll love to drive the Humvee. It's gonna be a whole lot faster than this thing is.
Okay, let's secure the truck and then get the Humvee started.
All right, we're gonna have to start the Humvee, crank start it,
Not a problem.
and then we're gonna have to wait a little bit, at least half an hour, I'd say, with the engine running, to make sure that it's got enough of a charge. Well, I guess it doesn't matter because we're gonna go through the gate. So yeah,
Yep.
just crank start it, drive it through the gate, and then let it sit for a little while so that the battery can charge up.
Well, if we're gonna sit anywhere to let the
Well,
battery
we can just
charge up,
drive.
it should be
Yeah,
here.
we can just drive.
But
on the inside.
it'll die when it goes through the portal.
Yeah,
No, it won't die when it goes through the portal. Not if
But-
it's like the truck.
but it'll
The battery will die,
But
especially with
there's
the
no
battery
point
will
in
die
charging
when-
the battery on this side of the gate. If
Oh,
we're gonna go to the
yeah,
other
you're
side of the
right.
gate.
You're right.
So
Yeah.
no, so okay, so if we go through let's crank it up. Let's go.
Okay.
Okay. But before we go through, I want to find the film camera and prep it.
Yeah.
Great idea.
We're not taking everything with us, so if there's anything specific
No,
you want,
That's my
we'll
question
throw
to be-
some. I'm going to bring my pack with all of my regular gear in it, and we'll bring. I don't know. We'll bring 7 days of MREs for everybody. So
All right.
four times 7 days of MREs.
all
Okay,
right.
so just reference. I know what you're bringing. What is everyone else bringing? Your standard packs. I'm guessing. Are you bringing your weapons with you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Weapons that some of you barely know how to use.
I got training in how to
And
use
we've trained together. Is it obvious that Chewie's really bad at shooting?
He's not bad at shooting. He's got a decent shooting.
Okay,
He
then
got
great.
trained.
No,
He
it's
was
cool.
bad. He was bad when he showed up, but he spent time with the peacekeepers training. We had like a couple months.
Did
We
they
really
have
like
to?
shooting,
Did they
so
have
yeah.
to show you to hold your gun the right way?
Yes, 100%. But he eventually learned.
Learning's the important part.
Right, knowing is half the battle.
All right, I'm taking basically as many tools as I can carry in the truck.
Yeah,
Um,
whatever you need to fix the Humvee if it
Yeah,
breaks.
whatever I need to fix the Humvee. I'm not taking all the heavy tools.
Right.
Weapons, food,
Water.
helmet and vest, lockpicks.
Oh yeah, it's a
crowbar.
great question. Is there who's wearing armor?
I think only Sadie and Chewie have armor. Everyone else has like ballistic cloth, and that's pretty much it.
Okay, well I'm going to wear my ballistic cloth because it's probably light enough to wear and walk around. I don't need my Kevlar vest right now. But I'll bring my helmet, but I'm not going to wear it right now.
Okay, anything special you're bringing? So Chewie's bringing some mechanical equipment to make sure you can at least repair the Humvee if there's a problem.
Yeah.
And I know Cassie's bringing your camera. Lola, anything special for you?
Let's see, probably gonna be ballistic cloth, have the shotgun in the Humvee, have like sketchbook, have film camera, just a few paints. Probably I imagine some bags because we'll probably want to take samples of things in this forest, and
Okay.
we're looking for food potentially.
All right. So you pack up, you get in the Humvee,
Sure.
and you pull through. And you guys pull through into the just like I described to Brennan earlier. Pull down into the forest. Yeah, Chewie probably couldn't have pulled the truck in here without having to cut down trees.
All right.
Humvee barely fits too, but it fits enough.
I did not include a chainsaw in my requests.
There is a chainsaw in the truck.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
good.
There's an electric chainsaw and there's a gas powered chainsaw.
I got a sawzall, but I didn't specifically request a chainsaw. It's good to know that.
Yeah, I did. I did.
All right.
I requested a chainsaw that ran on the petrol that the truck runs on, but instead we got an electric chainsaw.
All right.
Which you can charge up in about 20-30 minutes. Okay,
Yeah,
so
I thought we
you're in the
might want to
middle
make
of
an ice sculpture, and so we would need that. Great. So where's the sun? Like, what time of day do we think it is?
You're guessing it's probably close to noon.
Oh, great.
It's getting warmer, but It feels like could be probably early May based on the temperature, but you're not quite sure. You're not really sure you're at. It's cloudy skies. It's kind of a nice feel. It's not too hot, but it's getting warmer.
Mike, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
This feels like the kind of thing we should have thought of before, but I'm going to ask you now. Do we have some reliable way to find our way back to the location of the gate? Like, do we have a transmitter we can drop here next to it, or an inertial tracker in the Humvee that will keep track of which direction we went and how far?
Nope. You didn't bring anything like that.
Everyone remember where we parked.
I'll try and find some landmarks to draw.
Well, if we're driving over dirt, we're gonna leave tracks.
Yeah, let's specifically try to leave. In fact, you know what you should do, Lola? You should tag some trees as
Yep.
you go along.
Yep.
So that we
should
can
do
follow
that.
the trail back here.
Multi-dimensional
I'm so
graffiti
glad you
artists.
brought
Yeah.
spray paint. Who knew that that would be the most valuable thing that we brought on this trip?
Apparently, although, do we actually want to go too far out right now? Maybe we should just set up camp around here, like be here for a day to see what the day-night cycle's like.
She's got a
Oh,
good point.
Then
Like
start
we're actually
expanding.
here on a search mission, right? Like we should be able to identify. Honestly, we should be able to identify pretty quickly if how long's the other team been gone?
They haven't been heard back in 6 months.
Oh
Yeah,
well,
long time.
6 months is enough time to
Sure.
lose a
No, but I
trail.
like your idea. I think we should sort of set up a base camp here and walk around first.
Mhm.
That's great.
Fair enough.
Good
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah,
And like our job isn't just to find the other team, we also need to find, things to
Anything.
keep our planet from burning alive
Mhm.
and people from starving to death.
Yeah. Plus, if
Maybe
we
there's
walk
some
around
really
here,
good
we might
berries.
find something that indicates whether they came this way. So yeah. So let's make camp here.
All right, so you make a camp here at the portal base.
Yeah, we'll make a camp here. Oh, can we see the portal here, or is it one of those invisible portals?
No, it's just like I said, it's a standard portal. I guess it's kind of melded with the rock apparently, but
Okay.
you can see the ring outline. You can see the actual portal.
Great.
Not that anyone else can see it, but you guys. But yeah, it's
Sure.
there.
We'll set up a camp
of-
here.
I
Go
take a
ahead.
picture of the portal.
Which won't show up on film, but it's cool.
This is the place the portal. You should take a picture of us, like here.
I take a picture. Okay, everybody
Yeah.
stand by the Humvee and
Here,
smile.
here we are on an alien
Say
planet.
cheese.
Or alien Earth, something. I don't even know what to call it.
Alt 1.
All right.
Actually,
Earth Alt 1.
prime -1 technically.
Ugh.
Prime -1. Okay, Leslie, if you're taking photographs, I want you to track all those photographs because you're gonna be surprised what you'll take pictures of.
There's
You may
also
have to refer
I
to
I
later.
plan so after she takes out her Write and Rain, because those are the best notebooks, and she writes down film roll 1, and then like the whatever prime -1, shot of portal, group shot of Humvee. She's gonna kind of keep a list of
Right.
what's
I'm
going
I'm
on.
just saying you probably you as a player might want to take those notes too. Just for
So-
reference later down
So
the
we're
road.
not in alternate one, we're in prime -1.
Prime
Yeah.
-1, yes. If you look
Yeah.
at the sheet I give you guys access to, I don't have it open. Where'd it go? There it is.
So
Should be platform -001.
Mm-hmm.
So, no, that's a 00 platform. What is wrong with me? Did I not? There it is. On prime. So, actually, that's incorrect.
So I guess what we're going to end up doing then is we're going to set up camp and we're going to basically spend the night here until tomorrow to kind of make sure that everything works the same as on our Earth.
Yeah, that makes sense. Make sure that night isn't, there aren't snowstorms or giant Godzilla monsters that roam around.
Mm-hmm. And I assume from the fact that you didn't mention it, Mike, that the temperature and weather is basically just kind of regular.
Like I said, yeah,
comfortable
it's
temperature.
probably May on Earth before you're telling. It's not rainy. It's not cold. It's kind of nice out in this forest. It's nice temperatures, but it is warming up. It's the middle of the day.
You know what it isn't here, guys? It isn't the Antarctic.
Yeah. Yeah. It's also not a base.
True.
It's a good point.
I mean, maybe it is. Maybe the Antarctic is nice and warm
Could be.
here.
Yeah.
Hard to know. Hey, at night, when the stars come out, you're an astronaut. Could you tell us where we are on the Earth from looking at the stars?
I can try. Should have put a star chart on my personal packing list.
We can at least identify from the constellations whether we're like in the northern or southern hemisphere, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
If we're on Earth.
Yes, astronaut, not astronomer. Astronomer.
Well, yes, but there's a lot of crossover.
Space and they're spacey. But I see you guys are making camp here, base camp here.
Yep.
Okay, so you're putting tents out. What are you doing
We're,
exactly?
we're creating the infrastructure with which to make coffee.
Tents, camp stove. Are you building a fire? There's
I would
sticks
s-
nearby. There's
I don't-
trees
I
nearby.
would think it might be better to build fires when we can to conserve fuel.
Yeah, but do we need a fire right now?
Gonna make
Oh,
coffee.
oh, you're talking about cooking over a fire.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, sure, why
Um,
not? Let's not assume everything's super dangerous. Let's just build a fire. We can camp.
This does seem like a normal forest.
Yeah,
Whoa,
we'll
whoa.
gather some wood. I have a hatchet.
All right, you can go chop some not green wood and have enough to build a nice fire in about 30 minutes.
Okay. We will, as we wander around this place, we will buddy up. So nobody goes off out of
That's-
sight of everybody to
that's a-
gather wood or poop or anything.
That's you being smart. You
People stick
Yeah,
together.
good
Watch out
idea.
for each other.
good idea.
Yep.
Buddy system.
Always use a buddy.
I mean, I'll turn around while Chewy's pooping. I'm not gonna watch him, but I'll be right there.
Thank
know?
you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Not that I don't have, not that I got anything to hide, but still gentlemanly. Nobody needs to see that.
Nope.
So Brendan, so you're out chopping wood and finding wood to chop down. You hear water in the distance, running water.
That's good to know. I will note the direction that it is for us to investigate later.
You can't tell north or south, so you're assuming it's if you're looking away from camp, it's to the right.
Yeah, I note the relative direction from the way that we are in the camp.
Do you have a compass?
I
You want to
do.
try and use it?
I
I
have
do in fact have a compass. That's a great suggestion there, Mike. I pull out my compass.
Yeah, and you can tell the water is to the north.
Okay.
And the portal faces west.
As we've been here for a little while and the sun has had time to move, does it appear the sun is going down to what would be west?
Yeah, the sun is definitely falling on west track.
Oh, that's very comforting. That at least the sun is in the same place. When I come back to camp, I will let everybody know there's water off that direction. At least I can hear a creek or a river or something. Go
Okay, so
check that
you're
out
doing
later.
that for a while. Leslie, you're getting coffee prepared. What are Chewy and Lola doing?
Um,
Lola, I think, takes a while to make some markings. And then I think she goes and probably grabs if there are any interesting flowers or any interesting leaves. Probably tries and does some sketches of them, does some make some pressings, put some in a bag. I think she is collecting samples.
Yeah, just filling things. You find pine cones, and they feel like pine cones would feel, as far as you can tell. Like I said, you hear the squirrels, but you don't really see any because they're avoiding you because you're a larger than they are, hopefully. But yeah, grass seems normal. Pine is normal. Bark seems normal to you. I mean, you're not a forest person, but everything
Mm.
seems fine.
Yeah, I mean, I've been camping.
Do you have a wilderness survival skill at all?
Yeah, yeah. I
Well,
think
I
a
mean,
few
does
of us
Lola
took
have
it.
that since she's the one looking
No.
into it? Okay,
Did we bring an encyclopedia?
I don't think you did.
No, we brought
I
an atlas, not an
I
encyclopedia.
have an edible plant book.
Oh,
But do these look like species of trees that I would have seen before? Like, do they look like white pines or like cedars?
Mike's not an expert on that, so they're pine trees.
Okay.
They look like pine trees you would know. I'm
Okay.
not an expert. I won't claim to be one. I didn't do that much research. I'm sorry.
But like,
mm,
if I've been in a pine tree forest before,
Yeah, it definitely smells
it
like a pine tree forest. The needles feel like they should. The pine cones, they've not opened up. They're still kind of solid.
um also I'm gonna tell Chewy, make sure that you don't park the Humvee underneath pine cones.
Really? Why?
Cause
Thud.
yeah. You end up without windshields.
Oh,
Oh,
You see one hit the ground. It's not pleasant. Oh, that was
Oh.
it dented the ground.
I mean, aren't these Humvees designed to take bullets to the windshield?
yeah, they're designed for bullets, not pine cones.
Have you ever seen a sugar pine cone?
No.
Imagine something that's this 10 pounds, falling 50 or 60 feet.
Oh,
Wow.
no,
That's heavy.
Chewy. Neither me or Chewy is an outdoors person. Chewy is kind of lost, and he's just wandering around the camp, kind of looking for something to do, until he gets a bright idea, and he goes into the Humvee and he turns on the radio, and he scans through the channels in the radio to see if maybe there's some music.
Holy shit. All right, didn't think you guys would do that, but sure, let's see where you're at. It's really staticky,
All right.
but you think you hear music through one of the statics, but whatever it is not in range. It's that whole
All right. All right.
you're
Now
fiddling with the FM band, you don't really get anything. You switch down to AM because why not? And eventually you come across it. You think you hear music, but it's nothing else is coming through. You find the one spot where you hear music.
All right.
We
And
did in
it's-
fact bring we talked about bringing an antenna to listen for
yeah,
radio, right?
I believe we have a big proper radio with an
It's in
antenna.
the truck. It's in the
Well,
truck.
we can go back and get the antenna at least and hook it up.
All right, so Chewy's off to do that, I guess then, right?
Yes, but
All right.
buddy system. Somebody should go with me.
I'll go with you.
Okay.
You're going to need help carrying it anyway.
Get the heavy. Look, I am not a child. I can
No, I just mean it's big. That's all I meant.
Okay.
It's a big antenna.
Oh, so what we're gonna get is the big proper radio, which I'm sure we asked for a big military style radio, multi. I'm assuming the Humvee has like a small radio.
Has a small radio, but you have the massive one.
We have like a ham radio.
Get the big radio.
Yeah.
Get some pipes. I specifically got metal pipes that we can prop up a antenna on. We'll set up a big antenna on like a pylon, or we could put it on a tree. You can climb a tree and set the antenna in a tree and get us some height.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so that's what we'll do.
Good idea.
All right,
Okay.
you're going to spend about 20 minutes getting the antenna and the radio out there, and you're going to set that up. It's going to take you a better part of an hour.
We're also gonna have to chart.
Find the right tree.
I assume that we can hook the radio up to the Humvee, which has the alternator running to power it.
Yep.
Okay, and not have to wait for batteries to recharge or something.
Okay.
Hang on one sec. I'll check something. As again, I've got 10,000 pages open, so I apologize. Must have closed that. All right, so we're gonna need some skill rolls here. Let me just get the skill chart open. I think I closed it like an idiot. Yep, I think I did. just a reference for folks, we are using the basic system from Chaosium, which, if you know Call of Cthulhu, you know how that works. It's very simple and easy to use, sort of, but it can be as complex as you want it to be. So let me just open Bob's sheet here. All right. So let's see. Bob, I just want to make a mechanical repair roll
All right.
to set that up, and then an electrical one to get it going properly.
All
Since
right.
you've really never done that before.
Well, mechanical repair. I got a 67 out of 81.
Okay, you're good there. Succeed.
An electrical repair. Oh, I got an 86 out of 51.
Now that's a failure. Or you can spend fate points, your power points, to actually move that to a success if you want to. I can describe how that. Didn't I describe how that system worked?
I
think I
would need
did.
a reminder.
When do our
That's
PowerPoints
fine.
come back is the big question.
Usually refresh after sleeping. Yeah, you can either rest or
Oh.
while you're awake or sleep and get them back. They tend to return faster when you're sleeping.
All right.
But let me get that. It's in the character creation. No, it is not. I'm a monkey. Too many things. So much time. System walkthrough. There it is. Okay. Now into fate point. Okay, so just a refresher course on fate points. Section. All right. So your power points are also your fate points. And power is your power score. And influence the game on your behalf. One, you can spend 5 power points to re-roll any percentile roll desired. But you must take the second roll and you can't buy a roll after that. You can spend 5 power points to ignore a skill and trust fate using a difficult luck roll instead. I wouldn't recommend doing it unless you're desperate. You can spend 3 power points to ignore 1 point of damage from a single attack. That can be very useful because damage hurts in this game a lot.
Yes.
You can spend 6 power points to shift the result of a roll toward a more beneficial result, such as turning a fumble into a failure or a failure to a success, normal success to a special, or a special to a critical. This can only be used on your character's rolls and not apply to the dice that have been re-rolled.
So I can spend 5 to re-roll, or I can just spend 6 to shift it to a success.
Yep.
Well, I'll just spend 6 to shift it to a success.
Okay, so reduce your power points by 6, and you may that you succeed with that. So, just describe what happens. You get the antenna set up. That was not too difficult. But you've never really worked with a radio before like this. It's actually much bigger than you're used to working with in a car. And so you're fiddling with it. It blows sparks after fiddling with it for a bit, but you're able to actually get it back on track and hook to the battery properly so it runs.
All right.
So after about 15 minutes of fiddling with that, you've got it done.
All right.
And you turn it on, and you scan the FM band. You get nothing.
All right. What about in the AM band?
So you set it right to the dial we had it before with the MV radio, and you're definitely getting music. And see, anyone here have training in music at all?
Mm-mm.
Nope.
Any kind of history knowledge?
I have art history.
I have world history.
Art history, world history. In fact, I'll tell you what, those are kind of sick. Why don't everyone make me a knowledge roll?
Oh, yeah. This is. Nope. 62.
This is where EDU pays off.
Chewy went to public school, and he didn't do very well in public school. He does not have a very good education score.
I got a 50.
Sadie went to high school, and then she went to college, but she went to college on an athletics scholarship, and she was a jock.
Did anyone succeed at the knowledge roll?
I did. I got a 45.
I got 50.
Oh, is that a success for you?
Under is a success, right?
Under is a success, yes.
Yeah, my knowledge is 60.
Chloe?
No, I got an 80.
All right, so Sadie and Cassie recognize That is definitely swing music. And that's definitely a big band playing it.
That's like that World War II music.
That's like what they play at the Moose Lodge when they have steak dinners.
Moose Lodge.
A what lodge?
We had very different childhoods.
You know Moose Lodge, where all the you know a Moose Lodge, like the Brotherhood of the
No.
Moose and
Where do you go to hunt moose?
Look, I keep scrolling through
or the Supper Club.
I keep
Have you ever
scrolling
been
through
to
the
a supper
channels
club?
looking for a proper Spanish station
Okay, so you put
because
little
they
channels.
always broadcast a whole lot stronger than.
Well, then you
the
come
news.
across someone speaking.
Oh, here we go.
Now, what language does everyone speak here? Just out of curiosity.
English and Spanish.
Same.
English, Spanish, English,
I
Spanish,
speak
English and German.
English and
I
German.
speak English. I speak German and Spanish both fluently. In addition to English, I speak French. I speak French and English and Spanish fluently. Sorry, I speak German well. I speak Italian and Russian passably. Basic.
Okay, then those of you who speak German, hear German, and it's obviously newscaster saying you get something quickly about. I'm not gonna make your rolls on this. You'll pick up the words really quick. The Chancellery signed a new peace treaty today with the King of France. And while you wrap your head around that, you kind of miss the other words.
The King of France?
When's the last time France had a king?
You have
Before
history.
the
You
whole
want to roll
choppy
that check?
choppy thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, a king was 1779.
Uh,
There's no way Chewie knows that.
I mean, I feel like
Yeah.
art history. I probably no pick when they stopped drawing pictures.
I got a 5 out of 34.
That's critical success. You know exactly when. It was a long. The French Revolution happened in the late 17, early 1800s. So they haven't had a king since then on our Earth, as far as you know.
No, they didn't have
So-
radios back then.
So either the French Revolution didn't happen here and they did eat cake, or I don't know.
Or they invented radio and
Or
swing
they
music
invented radio.
in the 18th century.
Yes.
And
Also,
swing music.
Also, at some point, I am taking a picture of the radio setup.
Okay. Our first radio setup.
You gotta be able to. I gotta show the bigwigs how we did anything, otherwise they won't give us any more money. That's how it works.
True.
You can tell she worked for NASA.
Yeah, she worked for NASA. She knows all about getting her funding.
I'm leaning towards this place didn't have a French Revolution. I don't know what that means for the rest of the world. I'm sure Marie Antoinette's a lot happier now, though.
People probably eat a lot more baguettes.
Yeah.
So I don't know a lot about radios. I admittedly I know more than Chewie does, but AM radio can travel pretty far.
Yeah.
Under the right
Yeah.
conditions. We could be anywhere in the northern hemisphere potentially.
Well, once it gets to be night, we'll have a better idea. I mean,
Well,
can we see the stars from here, Mike? Or is it going to be too hard to see the stars from these trees?
It depends if the clouds go away or not.
Oh, stupid clouds.
If you can just scan the dial more, you get more German voices
Mm-hmm.
and wide varieties of music, like you heard before, the swing music. There's even some oompa music you come across eventually.
Maybe we're in
That's what
Germany.
they play at the state fair, and all the old ladies do the polka.
What are you talking about?
You've never been to Minnesota.
No.
I've been
Why
to
would I go
Germany.
to
I know
Minnesota?
what you're talking about.
They're not.
I-
Things are
So
mysterious.
you can go to Paul Bunyan Land, obviously.
She has a good point.
Sadie says, the problem with
Right.
this entire situation is that my mother is German and she's never going to let me live it down that my German isn't that good. You should learn German, Sadie. It'll be good for you. No, Mom, I don't want to learn German. Here we are. And I'm okay with German, but like I just wanted to learn French more. So
I take it. I really only know German because that's what the old people talked.
well, my
Um,
mother's old people, so that makes
Yeah.
sense. It checks out. Okay. So we're gonna spend the night here still, and we can continue to listen to the radio and see if we can pick up any more random information from news broadcasts or disc jockeys talking about things that are going on. What'd be great is if we can catch anything that mentions where the radio station is, like broadcasting from what city or anything like that. So, and we have all evening and through the night to listen to it. So we'll see what we can pick up.
All right. You continue to listen to it. Eventually, the station you listen to with the news on it breaks to mention the city of Essen
Oh,
in the GDR, the German Democratic Republic.
okay. Well, that's great.
So
Yeah, the
we could
GDR is would be the would be good Germany, sort of. I mean,
Yeah.
I guess we're basically trying to figure out, I guess, are we looking at East-West Germany situation or a unified Germany situation?
I have to go further than a forest to find that out.
Well, no, I mean from the name that they called the country, like East Germany called itself the DDR, and West Germany had a different title. I mean, it's been a while since.
The GDR, the German Democratic Republic.
Thank you. So, so which did they identify themselves
They
as?
referred actually with the Great German Democratic Republic is what they say, and
Okay.
they say it. The people in the news say it rather proudly.
All right. Well, that's hopeful. I mean, they didn't say Heil Hitler. Good.
Yeah.
Nope, none of that.
So, all right.
So how
So
far away can radio stations be?
AM stations can be pretty far.
Yeah. I mean, depending on the train, it could be 100 miles or more.
The train and the atmospheric conditions, under certain
Yeah.
conditions, they can be 1,000 miles on AM radio. Although I don't think we would get this many channels on that far away.
Yeah.
Well, if you have an atlas, like I think you do, you can look up where Essen is.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't bother looking it up because my
We have an
character
atlas.
is familiar with Germany and would know kind of where it is, but yeah, we could look at it on the map and see generally where it is.
Essen, when you're fiddling with the atlas, Essen is in the northwestern corner of Germany. You're close to the Netherlands and Belgium.
It's about 3 hours from Amsterdam, if I remember correctly. 3-hour
Yeah.
drive.
About that, yeah.
So what we've determined is this is a modern technological place to be. So they have radios and everything that they speak German. So they are a lot like our world. They have France and they have Germany, so they're that similar. They're different. They have a king of France. That's weird, but like, I mean, there's a lot to hold on to, I guess is what I'm saying. It's not totally weird world.
But
Yeah.
we don't get any. We only get German.
You're only the major stations you're picking up are German. If you listen to the smaller run ones, you're finding stuff in French, and Dutch, but no one speaks Dutch in this group. And if you speak German and French, it's like listening to two parents arguing in different languages. It really is. What language was that? It's Dutch. It just sounds like German and French mixed together, like that at times. Being in Belgium is fun. You do pick up English stations from London.
Oh, okay. We do get some English.
That was actually one of the larger musical transmissions stations you get. It tends to be broadcasting at a really high power for AM, but you get music everywhere. And
Do we hear anything that indicates there's any kind of trouble or danger? Like that anybody's at war with anybody or anything like that?
they don't go into detail a lot of things, but one of the newscasters in Germany was talking about the dangers of the SSA, and the USE is just going through its current first steps, and they're concerned that it'll be a problem down the road between the two organizations. But what SSA is and USE is, you have no idea. They don't explain those over the radio.
SSA in UAE.
Soviet and
USE,
American,
sorry, USE.
Okay, again, Chewie doesn't know this. SSE is probably
SSA,
SSA. I'm going to guess
USE.
are the Soviets, and the USE is probably the Americans or their analog for those things. I'm guessing that the USE is United States Empire, and that they're imperialists.
I mean,
But again,
you act like the USA is an imperialist, but
those are my my thoughts and not Chewie's thoughts.
All right. So we don't see any indication that our other team came this way, but we still want to kind of look around. I guess here's a question for the group. Do we want to do like a really light reconnaissance of each portal? Like we've learned a lot about this place just from coming through and listening for a little while.
Yeah.
Do we want to do that with each of the portals before we go any further from each one?
That's a good
I think
idea.
that's a good idea. Then we can have like a basic map of, what each portal is.
because I mean,
We're assuming that this is Europe. That this portal is somewhere in Europe.
Yeah, well, we're almost, if we believe that Essen is the same place, and it feels like it is because of the languages that we're hearing on the radio, then I think that's a pretty good bet that we're somewhere within radio range of Essen.
Yeah.
And so that's great to know. Now, theoretically, though, each of the portals on that platform, this is the prime platform for -1. So each of the portals that we're going to go through is going to come to this world.
Yeah, that's
just a different place in it.
That's why mapping each of the things will give us, we could get a location for each of the portals.
Yeah, for each portal.
World. Then we can decide.
Because we know there's not a portal near Essen in our Earth.
Right.
Yeah, good idea, Chewie. Okay, yeah. Let's try to figure out where each of the 8 portals is. And that would be valuable information. And we should in fact write all that down and leave it in the truck in case something happens to us.
Yep.
All right. So we'll spend the night, like I said, camp out, listen to the radio through the evening, and in the morning, we'll listen a little more while we pack up, and then we're going to go back through the gate.
And then
Okay,
go to 2, do another camp, set up, listen around, then maybe make our way back, keep going until we get through all 8.
Okay. So let's
I
do
like the way you say that like it just happened. There's no problem with any of that.
Yeah,
no
I'm sure they're all
complications.
nice for us, and we're not gonna. Nothing is complicated in the other ones.
I take the same 3 pictures at every place.
Yeah.
Chloe, have you not learned anything about me in the past? How many years have you known me? Yeah, it's just kind of like that.
I mean,
I don't. Lola doesn't know that.
Can you, with just a regular old camera, take a picture of the sky, and then we would be able to see if the sky's clear, and then get the stars, and then be able to use that to get a more precise location for each of these places?
I don't know enough about cameras to tell you an answer.
Yeah.
I don't know enough
Or rather,
about,
I don't know enough about film cameras.
Yeah,
to
I don't
tell
know
you an
enough
answer.
about manual, no battery cameras with
manual film cameras. Taking a picture of the stars is not easy.
Because it have to be a prolonged exposure.
Yeah, you could do it, but you'd need a tripod.
And again, you'd be just guessing at the exposure time.
Which
Lola
I feel
does have
really
phot-
dumb for not requesting a tripod now too.
Yeah.
Lola has photography. I feel like she could probably whip something up.
Maybe so.
Mhm.
She's an expert. You want to try it, you can.
Okay, so shot 4 is the sky.
Well, Lola has to try, so let's give Lola a shot at that.
Well, I mean the exposure's wasted
We're also
regardless.
we're also not going to know until we get back and develop
the
all
film.
this film, because we definitely don't have the facilities to develop color photos on the truck.
Right.
I mean,
Note to self: bring a
26.
dark room.
All right, so
Yeah, I can show you how to set up that exposure. Well,
so great.
we'll
So
get some
Clay, you want
rocks.
to make a roll for that?
Yeah, I got a 26.
Oh, nice. That should be a special success, I believe. Which your skill is 80, isn't it?
It's 51 for photography.
Oh, okay. So it's not a special success. Okay,
Just
that's
normal.
still a success. Yeah, you can definitely get a shot of that at night. You set the exposure right, and you definitely know you set it properly. And you using the Humvee as a quote unquote tripod to make it work. And you get one shot of the stars at night when it's partially clear.
Yeah. I mean, maybe they'll be able to figure something out from it. It's better than nothing. Maybe it can at least confirm, since they know what we're going to tell them about where we think we are. It should narrow down what they think they're looking for. We also note exactly the time that we took the picture. That'll be important.
Oh well,
Do
whose
we have a
watch?
UTC time?
You don't.
Have
I
we
have a-
synchronized times?
Whoops.
Well,
We have mechanical watches. We requested mechanical watches, so we
Right,
Yeah.
but how are
So
they
we-
set?
They
But
should
did we
be
synchronize them?
They
yeah,
should be
they're set to our home time.
They should be set to UTC on Earth.
Yeah, they're set for
And-
us from our
Yeah.
time of departure.
And we should
but
reference-
but the local time is what matters to the stars.
We have no idea what local time is.
Yeah, we don't know
You
what the
can-
local time is.
Eventually,
Oh
listen to this
wait,
broadcast.
does the
enough,
radio
you can-
tell us the local time?
Yes.
Oh.
Eventually,
Great.
listen to this broadcast long enough, you can get the time.
We'll set
So-
one watch to that time.
One German watch. Got it. German time watch. Mark it down. -1 platform, -001 prime Earth, German time watch, portal 1.
Do we stick a piece of duct tape on there? We write that on the back.
There you go.
But it's a manual watch. That means somebody, even though we're not wearing it, is going to have to wind it every day.
Well, they're self-winding. The watches are self-winding.
Well,
They
then
wind
somebody
from the
has to
action
wear
of
it.
the-
Somebody has to
yeah,
wear it.
somebody just has to
Yeah.
put it on or put it in their pocket. Just jiggle it around a little bit. It'll wind up.
At the end of the same broadcast, you get the time they mentioned the day is May 12th, and then you hear 1949.
Oh,
Well, that
there you
makes
go.
the swing music make sense.
Okay.
Okay, so
So
I'm
we're,
put it-
we're
where am I putting
we're-
this in my notes?
We're like 5 years late of going to kill Hitler. Damn it.
Well, I mean, we hope Hitler's already dead.
Well, we were hoping to get here early enough that if I have a single goal in a time dimension hopping game, it is to get to kill Hitler.
We also
Ooh.
don't know that Hitler even came to power here.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's true. I mean,
Or
everything else
that,
is different.
he
Maybe
was
there's no
even
Hitler.
born.
It still counts. It still counts if I kill artist Hitler.
Nobody will understand why you're doing it, why you hate that guy so much.
Yeah.
But sure.
Yep. Doesn't matter.
You just tell everybody who sees you do it, trust me.
Trust me, I did you a favor.
We'll put it
Alright.
on the to-do list.
Yep. To do, kill
all right.
Hitler. Great. So yeah, then we have a lot of information about this place. This is terrific. And nobody got hurt. That's even better.
Yeah, this job's easy.
I was a little worried about the squirrels at first. That maybe we're on like deadly intelligent squirrel world. I
Like
don't know.
Give me a little credit. guys.
like Hunger Games crazy squirrels
Hunger
or
Games
something.
Squirrel World.
He just kept mentioning squirrels, and I'm like, why does Mike keep talking about the squirrels?
Squirrels and squirrels and squirrels and
weird.
squirrels and squirrels and squirrels and squirrels.
Okay, so do we have any trouble breaking camp, packing up, and getting through the gate again?
Not unless you want trouble, but no,
Nope.
no problem packing all that back up the next morning.
All right. So we head back through and
You back the car up through the gate.
yep. Then we'll note on the platform with
Are the marks that Lola made still on the platform?
Oh yeah, they're still there.
Okay.
wait, we will add to them and modify them to indicate that we returned from that place and have gone through the next one.
Keeping a record on
Yeah.
the actual platform. Okay.
Mhm.
It shows we went in and came
Platform.
out.
You mark
and then
one
the
next
This
to it
is
and write
this
done.
this is not a leave no trace exercise, okay?
Yeah.
That's what I was going to ask about the forest roll before you left. Are you taking everything with you? Or are you leaving kind of camp notification? Are you packing out clean?
I think we should pack out clean. We don't want
Yeah.
anybody coming along and discovering anything and setting up some kind of like watch on that place.
That makes sense. They might think they got invaded by aliens, and they have weirdos who are hunting down aliens hanging out there.
There's always alien hunters everywhere you go. Okay, so you back out. You're on the -1 prime platform. What are you doing next? Just so you know,
We're gonna go through.
we got about 20 or so minutes till we're done here.
Okay. Do we want to go through another gate right now, or do we want to spend our last 20 minutes sort of debriefing on what we think we learned and what we want to do next?
I can go either way. I don't know that we have that much to debrief on, but
I think we at least take a look inside gate number 2.
Okay. Well, whose turn is it to go first?
not it.
All right, I'll
It's
go
Lola
first.
going first.
I'll get the fire extinguisher.
How far away is it from gate 1 to gate 2?
It's one clock slot over. So
Yeah. Oh, and we look at the pylon to make sure it looks normal.
again, same thing as before. Same color light.
My job is to man the fire extinguisher, while your guys' job is to go through.
Not sure that's entirely accurate, Chewy, but we'll see.
I am 100% sure that's accurate. I have I have the fire extinguisher.
You
Who else
do.
would
I
be-
mean, that does support your assertion.
Yes.
All right, Lola is
Piece of
going.
supporting evidence.
Lola's going to put her helmet on and then walk in.
Okay, so you put your helmet on. This feels weird, and you touch the portal and you go through. And as you step through, you almost hit a brick wall right in front of you. And it smells. First thing that hits you, right? It smells dirty. It smells like trash. You're facing a kind of a stained brick wall. You look behind you, and there's no portal. There's no platform. There's nothing. But you can see kind of a hazy rainbow outline that you walk through.
Can I walk back? I try and touch behind me where the haze is.
You go right through, right back onto the platform.
Hmm.
So she goes through and comes right back out.
Fire extinguisher.
I'm
She on
not
fire?
on fire, but
All right.
I think we're like right in the middle of a city. I think it drops us off into an alleyway, maybe. I just wanted to make sure I could get back first.
Huh.
So you're
At
saying
least
no
it's
room
not
for the
toxic
truck.
or anything.
So which gate is this?
Number two.
Okay, so this is -2 prime,
-1 prime,
negative
Gate
1
number
prime.
2.
gate 2.
This is gate 1. Sorry, I'm trying to be a note taker and I'm not a note taker.
Appreciate it.
All right.
You want to go back through and look around a little more?
Yeah. I'm going back. I just wanted to fill you in that we're not bringing the Humvee this time.
Okay.
It's whatever we can carry. I think.
All right, that's going to cause some problems.
Yeah,
Just
I
to
think
be
she
aware.
actually takes her helmet off because she wants to not stand out as much in case she runs into other people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so she's gonna go back in, and then so she goes in. There's a brick wall. Is there any room to move anywhere?
You go through and again, smell of trash. Ooh. It's like walking into a dumpster
Mhm.
location. All this dumpster just smell. Mostly smells like rotten food, urine, all kinds of horrible stuff. You hear rats. It's definitely listen.
Are you in a sewer?
It's evening, and so it would smell like also like smell like this. You'd smell salt water as well. You know that from being from New York City. You know what that the river and ocean smell like when they hit each other.
Yeah.
What time did we leave Europe?
Morning.
So
Wait.
we're on the other side of the world.
7, 8.
If it's
No, it'd be
evening,
nighttime. I'm sorry, my bad. It'd be nighttime based on the time structure.
if it's
Nighttime.
evening, where this, and again, this is Bob talking, not Chewy. If it's evening now where we just went through, then that means that it's the opposite side of the planet from Europe, which means North or South America, I think, or possibly
Didn't write the time difference
East
down.
Asia.
Let me just calculate it real quick.
I mean, assuming that all the land is in the same
True.
place.
True.
Yeah.
If I listen, do I hear the sounds of people talking in the distance anywhere?
Yeah, I'm sorry, it is nighttime. You can hear people talking in the distance. You actually hear the sound of some kind of bellowing horn from maybe a boat. As you smell the mixture of seawater and river water, and you can see there are gas lights. And they definitely are gas lights. They are not electric lights
Mm-hmm.
out down on the street area. It's kind of dark in the alley where you're at. You also hear rats in this alley, which is not nice.
I'm from New York. I can handle rats. All right. Yeah. So I guess I'll walk out of this alleyway, take a look around the street.
The buildings here are made of brick. They're kind of rounded. They definitely have a feel of time long before what you're used to. You notice that above the alleyway is a street sign that says Sedgwick Lane. It's written in English. In front of the alley, it says Sedgwick Lane.
We'll be able to find our way back.
And underneath it says Sedgwick Lane, it says Wilson City.
Nelson's. Right. Are there any? Is this all like houses? Are there any stores?
It is definitely a semi-metro area. It looks like you're down near the docks. There's no houses here. It's all shop fronts, and a lot of them look like they're closed for the day. You can see across from you, there's a butcher's. If you come further out on the street, you can see there's a dressmaker shop with fancy dresses. All vary the same time period, about the 1940s, 1950s feel. You think you hear music in the distance. There's no one out on the street. Obviously, it's way past sunset.
Yeah, I think I'll walk back at that point.
I tell you what, also make me a knowledge roll just for shits and giggles.
I'll try.
Come on, high school education.
I'll spend a power or 6
Okay.
power to
6
boost
power.
it to a
All right.
success.
You know for a fact there is no city that would be this possibly large called Wilson City that's a port in that you know of. That it's in an English area, speaking area, which would be the United States or the UK, as far as you know. The UK wouldn't instantly Wilson City. That's just not them.
Could be Australia.
Could be Australia. Could be the US.
Australia would jive with the time zone. Potentially.
Mike is also bad with time zones, but I believe I'm correct. It should be night here when it was morning there. If I subtract.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm right. I'm right.
You need to get a globe and just put it next to your chair.
Yeah, so
I
I'll
just-
go. Yeah, I'll
I
go
just
back.
asked Google.
Oh, and be like, all right, can you pull out that atlas?
Oh yeah. Yeah, let's check it out.
All right, so it's nighttime over there. It says it's someplace called Wilson City. Seems like it's a dock.
Oh, sorry, it'd be
town.
later than that. Actually, it'd be closer to. Yeah, close. You guess it's really late. Actually, there's definitely no one on the streets at this time.
Okay.
Yeah, it was
Well,
really late.
Yeah, we'll just scan the coast for a city of any size named Wilson City.
You spend about 20-30 minutes doing that. You guys don't find anything like that at all.
All right. I mean, it could have a different name. There's a king
But
of France.
Chloe, you do
Yeah.
know that it definitely smelled like it did in New York City with the mixture of seawater and river water. There's definitely always a smell when you find that.
Could
Did
be.
it look American to you? Or did it look
They
sort
had
of,
they had gas
Britishy?
lights. It's weird because they have gas lights, and everything should have electricity at this point. I don't know. History seems different.
Hmm.
Definitely still seems like 1940s, 50s. There's a dress shop that we should visit later in the day so we can get some clothing to blend in. I guess we don't have money. We don't have money.
Yeah, I actually
Well,
I thought about asking for gold to bring, but they wouldn't give me other things that seemed less, so I didn't think they'd give us a bunch of gold coins.
Even
even if we had money, it might not be the right money.
Yeah,
They'd
Well,
be
yeah, that's
like,
why you bring
"Who's
gold.
this weirdo dude on your dollar?"
yeah, but
Yeah,
even gold coins are kind of
Yeah, you bring
suspicious. Like,
gold little bars or something, small ones, like 1 ounce each, and then you
Yeah.
can sell them.
Mr. Police Officer, this guy tried to give me gold.
yeah, like
Um,
that's like trying to buy shit with
Ev-
$1,000 bills. Like
Well, you
it's
go to a
not.
jewelry shop and
Yeah.
you'd sell it, right?
Every city's got a pawn shop, right?
Yeah, yeah.
What would
Because we're not
probably
carrying, we're not worried about getting top dollar for
what
it. We
would
just
probably be better is to get some jewelry made out of gold. So
Oh,
like
that's a great
gold
idea. Yeah, you're
rings,
right.
gold necklaces. Those are the types of things we
Hmm.
can just sell.
That does
And
seem less suspicious. I'm,
yes.
yeah, that seems like I'm glad you have experience with that sort of thing,
Look, I may have
Chewy.
pawned a few things here and there.
I mean, we've got these watches.
Sometimes,
How many
sometimes when they
watches do
bring
we
the
have?
cars in, there's stuff in the glove compartment, and I don't know who the owner is anymore, and so I just take it to the pawn shop.
you made a lot of those extra iPhones you found.
Yes, perhaps.
So on that note, how many watches do we have?
I we had at least one for each of us. I had my own and they gave us 4. So we have several watches, but I'm not sure we want to sell one of them because they're anomalous.
They're
They're
super useful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we should keep our watches.
I don't think we need any money right now. I mean, I have regular looking clothes. I mean, they'll look not correct for this period, but they won't look like weird space clothes. I have blue jeans and t-shirts and a leather jacket, which is probably what
So
people wear here
so
now.
so 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 we are here, and we are looking for two things: technology to help us, and team number 3.
Hmm.
I think we can determine pretty quickly that they don't have any technology that helps us, because
Because they're behind us.
we would have invented it in 1949, right? So
Yeah.
what we should do is we should check this place out. Maybe
Hmm.
check the magazines or papers, right?
Yeah,
And
yes. If
then
there's any newspapers in that alley.
see if we can find any information about people from somewhere else, and if not, get the hell out, because we're not finding anything useful here.
No, I agree. There's a
Yeah,
bunch of
that
trash in
makes
that
sense.
alley. There's probably newspapers.
Okay, I volunteered for going first, not for digging through the trash.
Well, if we wait until daytime, I bet that there's a newsstand
Yeah, but
or
we
a
got to have
newsboy.
money to buy something.
I think I can take care of that.
Let's say
You don't need to
we
worry about it. If there's some newspapers, I can get them.
we
Okay.
also don't
Okay.
necessarily need to take possession of the paper. We can flip through the paper and set it back down.
Yes. That's what I was implying I was going to do. I mean, what do you take me for? Some sort of criminal?
You did come in in an orange jumpsuit to our big interview.
Those are all
Not
of
wrong.
the rage in Tempe, Arizona right now.
Since you brought it up, I'd like Cassidy to make me an idea roll.
Idea?
That's off your intelligence score.
Okay. Okay, I'm
You
not
rolled a
seeing.
9.
I rolled a 9, so I think
So-
I make it if I can find where that is on my sheet.
I'm sorry.
Aha! I found it. 65.
Yeah, so that's definitely a special success. 1, if you wait till dawn and go out to get a paper, even just find a paper and look through it, you're going to stand out like a sore thumb. Your clothing would probably likely not match, and it would draw attention because you're wearing camouflage uniforms.
Oh, I
Camel
just thought they
gear.
were olive drab.
They still look like military uniforms.
They do.
In some way.
But I have regular clothes too.
And 2,
I mean, I
they're
have my PT clothes.
you can change out of the clothes you have and other clothes you have. Yes, I'm not saying you can, but the point is, if you all go out like that, it could be problematic.
Mm.
And 2, there are newspapers in that alleyway. Probably the safest way to get that information right now.
Yep, that seems easy. So
I'll let Cassidy divulge that to you guys if she wants.
Yeah, it's we're gonna stick out like sore thumbs regardless of what we do. But like, look at all this trash. It's full of newspapers
mhm. Yeah,
and
we'll-
Time
we can collect that.
magazines.
Yeah, there's got to
And
be enough stuff in here
Chip
to at
don't
least give
eat the
us something.
Legos.
Question is, who's going through to get it?
I'll go,
All right.
and I'll change clothes before I go.
Okay. What are you wearing?
I'm wearing jeans and boots and a black T-shirt, and I guess I probably don't need my leather jacket. Was it cold?
I mean, I'll tell you, it was a little chilly.
rather-
but I don't think you need to change. It's so late, no one's out on the streets.
You
Well, it's
don't think
actually
so?
May, so it wouldn't be chilly. It's got a breeze, but it's definitely humid.
Okay. Well, that's fine. I'll just go, and I'm not going very far from the gate. So if there's any trouble, I'll just hop back through. Right?
Yeah, it's easy.
Okay.
And it's an alley, so again, it's hard to spot you from the main street.
And I guess in camouflage it'll be even harder. So yeah, I'll step through.
All right, step
and then
through.
I'll look around to the alley and just find some newspapers or discarded magazines.
Definitely trash cans right near where you're at. You can lift those up and go through them for a bit. Take the lid off. So you find a newspaper and kind of get it unraveled of what a mess it was rolled up in. And you get to the front page. And it says, as a headline, the socialist states of America announce a new prosperity for all. You're looking at that like, what the? And just then you feel a light hit you. Hey, what are you doing there? Put that down and come here. And I think that's the place we're going to end it for tonight.
Sure.
Oh.
Love it.
I forgot to mention I love cliffhangers. So you guys gave me the perfect out to get one. So there you go. And that'll do it for tonight. So in a few minutes early, but that was a lot of fun for first session. Thank you very much. Thank you all for coming and playing tonight. I really appreciate it. And I thank all our friends, new friends who came to visit today. They're first timers to our channel, which is fantastic to hear and see. So thank you guys for coming. I know a lot of them came from the Fringeworthy folks I met on Facebook. And so I really appreciate that. They're all awesome for doing so and not calling me on the weird shit I put into the game they love so much. Again, I am Mike Leader. I am your game master for Fringeworthy. And let's go back to rotating to the cast. Tell us your name, a bit about yourself, and what projects you're working on, if you have any, and how people can find you on social media if they want to know more about you. We'll start with Chloe, like we did last time. Same run through as before.
All right. I am Chloe. You can find me on Instagram, Discord, co-host any of those at Chloe Serena. I have a Twitch channel at Chloe_Serena. I don't have any particular projects to pump up this time. I'm just excited to be playing this and find out what happens next.
All right, Bob.
Oh yeah, I'm Bob. I don't do social media, and I don't have any projects working right now. So good luck finding me.
You do have a
Anything
project. You
fun
just
about
can't talk
yourself you
about
want
it
to
yet.
talk about? Anything fun about yourselves you want to share?
Well, Not that I can think of.
Okay, Bob's not fun. Sorry, gang.
Yeah.
Brandon.
Hi, I'm Brandon. I'm a game designer and writer. I've been in the game industry for like 30 years. I used to write tabletop games back in the day. I worked on Champions and Traveler and a bunch of other stuff like that. We talked about earlier, writing a book for the Air Force. I wrote that for the Stargate RPG a while ago. I'm a digital game designer these days. I work on video games. I've worked on a lot of different stuff, Crimson Skies, Halo, Farmville, things like that. And I'm currently working at a company called Hidden Path on a Dungeons and Dragons game that will be a AAA third-person open world RPG title that will be out in a few years. So keep an eye out for that down the road.
Awesome. Leslie, you want to share anything with the group?
Well, you can find me. I am on social media everywhere, but not particularly active. But at Tupero es feo. Yes, your dog is ugly. If you want to specifically look at my crafting, I'm on Instagram as Ugly Dog Crafting or Ugly Dog Crafts, I forget now. I do kind of share what I'm making, although most of what I make is personal. I would would accept commissions if you bribe me enough. Uh, but not too much going on here except that my cat is trying to eat every single freaking thing on the kitchen table. But yeah.
I have the same problem too. I get looking to my left because my cat has been at my left all the night, asking why are you sitting in that chair again? I hate when you sit in that chair. Fantastic. It was always great to know. I had lots of fun tonight, gang. Thank you very much. I appreciate it and making us all happen. Thanks to folks at Stolen Fires, and make sure to get a chance to tune into the station the station on Twitch. Regularly, we have games all week long. Shoot, they run a fantastic Blade Runner game on Friday nights. I recommend you check it out if you get a chance. And if that's it, I think we'll see you all next week for game number 2.
Bye, everybody.
Good night, everybody. Thank you very much. Take care.